to silence your phone for the next couple of hours and hear the tribute showered on Dr. S.S. Badrinath, an epitome of extraordinary vision, selfless service and compassion, and who has touched the lives of millions of poor and needy. We begin our day with Mrs. Vidya Kalyana Sundaram singing some devotional songs. She's a renowned Carnatic singer, disciple of Mrs. Suguna Varadacharya.
गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, सद्गुरु दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, सद्गुरु दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, शरण तुम्हारे। कांची नगरी, कांची नगरी कामपीठवासी, कांची नगरी कामपीठवासी, तुम ही हमारे सब कुछ स्वामी, कांची नगरी कामपीठवासी, तुम ही हमारे सब कुछ स्वामी, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, शरण तुम्हारे। मन मंदिर में बसो हमारे, बंदी बने हम सब तुम्हारे, मन मंदिर में बसो हमारे, बंदी बने हम सब तुम्हारे, दूर करो तुम मन सा मन से, दूर करो तुम मन सा मन से, पार करो इस भव सागर से, दूर करो तुम मन सा मन से, पार करो इस भव सागर से, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, सद्गुरु दीजो शरण तुम्हारे, गुरुवर दीजो शरण तुम सद्गुरु सद्गुरु पाहि मां चन्द्रशेखर रक्ष मां 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 पाहि நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலங்கிட புழுதியில் எறிவதுண்டோ நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலங்கிட புழுதியில் எறிவதுண்டோ நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதை நலங்கிட புழுதியில் எறிவதுண்டோ சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி என்னை சுடர்மிகும் அறிவுடன் படைத்து விட்டாய் சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி என்னை சுடர்மிகும் அறிவுடன் படைத்து விட்டாய் சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி வல்லமை தாராயோ வல்லமை தாராயோ இந்த மாநிலம் பயனுற வாழ்வதற்கே வல்லமை தாராயோ இந்த மாநிலம் பயனுற வாழ்வதற்கே சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி நிலச்சுமையன வாழ்ந்திட புரிகுவையோ சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி நிலச்சுமையன வாழ்ந்திட புரிகுவையோ சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி விசையுறு பந்தினை போல் உள்ளம் வேண்டியபடி செல்லும் உடல் கேட்டேன் விசையுறு பந்தினை போல் உள்ளம் வேண்டியபடி செல்லும் உடல் கேட்டேன் நசையரு மனம் கேட்டேன் நித்தம் நவமென சுடர் தரும் உயிர் கேட்டேன் தசையினை தீ சுடினும் தசையினை தீ சுடினும் சிவசக்தியை பாடும் நல்லகம் கேட்டேன். தசையினை தீ சுடினும் சிவசக்தியை பாடும் நல்லகம் கேட்டேன். அசைவருமதி கேட்டேன். இவை அருள்வதில் உனக்கெதும் தடையுள்ளதோ? அசைவருமதி கேட்டேன். இவை அருள்வதில் உனக்கெதும் தடையுள்ளதோ? சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி, சொல்லடி சிவசக்தி, சிவசக்தி, சொல்லடி சக்தி, சிவசக்தி, சக்தி, சக்தி. साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम, साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम, मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम, साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम, मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम, साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम। तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान। तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान। तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान, मुझे शांति दो भगवान, मुझे शांति दो भगवान। मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ है, मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ है। साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम, मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम। तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान, मुझे शांति दो भगवान मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ देवा। साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम साई बाबा मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यत आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेष्वक्रममाक्रमणं त्यजत परेष्वक्रममाक्रमणं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं जननी पृथ्वी कामदुगाते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुगाते जनको देवः सकल दयालु जनको देवः सकल दयालु दाम्यतदत्त दयत्वं जनताः दाम्यतदत्त दयत्वं जनताः श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां
We just heard Maitreem Bhajata, a song close to the heart of our chief, Dr. S.S. Badrinath, composed by none other than Mahapariva and sung originally by M.S. Amma. Thank you, Mrs. Vidya Kalyanaraman, for the most melodious rendition. I humbly request everyone to stand silently for a moment of reflection and respect for the departed soul. Thank you. I request Dr. T.S. Surendran, Chairman, Shankar Nethralaya, to say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for joining us today. As we gather today to pay tribute to the life of my mentor, my friend, my esteemed colleague, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. During this solemn moment, I want to acknowledge the absence of Dr. Badrinath's wife, Vasanthi, their sons, Sesha Prasad and Anand. They are currently going through a period of profound mourning and regrettably couldn't join us today. Our thoughts and support are with the family during this challenging time. Reflecting on Dr. Badrinath's legacy, I am reminded the remarkable journey I shared with him for 46 years. Alongside with him was a privilege, and I still cherish every moment spent with such a great visionary leader. The memories we created and the conversations we had will forever remain in my heart. His wisdom, guidance, and commitment to excellence have inspired my professional journey. Dr. Badrinath's contributions to the field of ophthalmology are supreme. His accolades, including the prestigious Padma Bhushan Award, the Living Legend Award by NDTV, B.C. Roy Award, etc., stand as a proof to his exceptional dedication. His impact on Shankar Nethralaya, in fact, I always used to say, Shankar Nethralaya is Badrinath, Badrinath is Shankar Nethralaya, is immeasurable. His leadership laid the foundation for an institution committed to making eye care accessible to everyone, the rich and the poor. His principles and passion have shaped the very core of our institution, guiding us to serve with compassion, dedication, and utmost love. Looking ahead, as we navigate for the future of Shankar Nethralaya, I should mention Project Agastya. The main donor is sitting here, which we also follow Dr. Badrinath's visionary spirit to go further. The upcoming branch in Chennai's Thandayarpet will carry forward his legacy, extending our services to communities. I thank at this juncture Dr. Girish Rao, the president of the foundation, and Mr. Ramachandran, Mr. Kannan for helping with all the, extending the support. As we bid farewell to an extraordinary individual, let us not only mourn his passing, but also celebrate his life, a life dedicated to healing, teaching, research, selfless service. I will forever cherish the moments spent with Badrinath, and his legacy will continue to inspire as we come. Request all speakers to stick on to the time, and wanted to, Dr. Badrinath actually lost this thing will, and his wish to the family was to be taken to the crematorium as a common man. And no these things of elaborate arrangements for his departure. I actually would like to announce the main campus, we plan to name it as Shankar Nethralaya Badrinath campus after getting approval from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T.S. Surendran.
This is the story of a man who personified the ideology Paropakara Idyam Shariram. This life is to help others. We are, of course, talking about the legendary visionary Dr. S.S. Badrinath. He was born on February 24, 1940, into a family deeply rooted in India's culture and tradition. Having graduated from the Madras Medical College in 1964, Dr. Badrinath pursued further studies in ophthalmology in the USA. He worked as a fellow at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, Boston, under Dr. Charles L. Skeepens, the father of modern retinal surgery from 1968 to 1970. Through determination, resilience, and unwavering support from his wife, Dr. Vasanthi, Dr. Badrinath carved his path, establishing himself as a consultant at Voluntary Health Services, Adyar, later private practicing at HM Hospital and Vijaya Hospital, Chennai, turning adversities into stepping stones. In 1978, with the blessings of his spiritual guru, Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, Dr. Badrinath and a group of philanthropists set up the Medical Research Foundation to provide comprehensive eye care to all sections of society. Shankara Nethralaya was thus created with a clear vision and mission and nurtured with passion and compassion. The mobile refraction van, teleophthalmology, and the mobile eye surgical unit bear testimony to his success in this area. He was indeed a man way ahead of his times. He oversaw the establishment of the elite school of optometry, India's first school of optometry, the Shankara Nethralaya Academy and Allied Health Sciences College. Since its inception, over 15 million national and international patients have been treated at Shankara Nethralaya. More than 1.1 million surgeries have been performed. 50% of patient services and 35% of surgeries are done free of cost. Over 2,500 ophthalmologists have trained here. In fact, 1 in 12 ophthalmologists in India today has trained in Nethralaya. SN was a pioneer not only in terms of clinical expertise, but also in life. He believed in simplicity and honest, hard work. Dr. Badrinath worked with a missionary zeal to offer affordable eye care to the underserved population. His exemplary service has been recognized in the form of several awards and honors, including the Padma Shri Award in 1983, Dr. B.C. Roy National Award in 1991, and the Padma Bhushan Award in 1999. His legacy will continue to live through the institution, his countless students, his impact on society, and his vision for a brighter future for all sections of society.
India has a great future. The future is in the hands of the youngsters. I would like the honor which has been done to me be an inspiration for all the youngsters in India to do the best what they can for India, though it is poor and wanting in healthcare. One day, I want this country to be the greatest country in the world.
What has always struck me about India is not the tremendous difference between wealth and poverty which exists in our country, the gap between the wealthiest and the poorest, but more than that, the gap between the sublime nobility of character on the one hand and the total degradation on the other. This strikes me as the most glaring contrast about India. And when I come to an institution like this, it replenishes my faith in the future of India. We feel that I'm in the midst of human beings who are human and who will one day make this country great by their dedication, by their sense of discipline, and by their service to their fellow men.
It's important that each one of us have a dream, a goal, a vision. Years ago, I had one such dream, to provide uncompromised eye care in India to those who cannot afford it. This is the philosophy of Shantinetharya. I invite you to be a part of the dream.
For a man who has played a key role in transforming the landscape of eye care in India, 2 minutes of your time down the memory lane with Dr. S.S. Badrinath is too little. I agree. But I humbly request, due to paucity of time, to graciously adhere to the time frame. We have eminent and celebrated speakers in our midst, and we value each one of your contribution to our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. I call upon Padma Shri Sri Nalli Kuppuswamy, industrialist and philanthropist, to share his nostalgic memories of our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத்தும் நானும் ஒன்றா ராமகிருஷ்ணா மிஷன் மெயின் ஸ்கூலில் படித்தோம். அவர் என்னோட ஒரு வருஷம் சீனியர் அங்கே. அப்போ ஏஸ் ஏ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டு பிற்காலத்தில் எப்படி வரப்போகிறாருன்னு யாருக்குமே தெரியாது. பெரிய பெருமை, அவர் இந்த காலத்தில் வாழ்ந்தோம்ன்றதே பெருமை. அவர் படித்த பள்ளிக்கூடத்தில் கூட படித்தேன்றது நான் மிகப்பெரிய பெருமையாக நான் கருதுகிறேன். சுருக்கமாக 2 நிமிஷத்தில் முடிக்கணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நிறைய பேசலாம், ஒரு 1 ஹவருக்கு பேசலாம் அவரை பற்றி பேசுகிறதா இருந்தால். ஒரு தரம் ஆர் வெங்கட்ராமன் அப்போது இந்தியாவினுடைய ஜனாதிபதியாக இருந்த டைம் அது 1983 நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த விஷயம் வந்து அப்போது கலாட்சேத்ராவுடைய இனாகரேஷனுக்கு ஆர்வி சார் வந்திருந்தபோது டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் சாரும் வந்து அங்கே முதல் வருஷத்தில் உட்கார்ந்துருந்தார். அப்போ பேசும்போது அவர் சொன்னார், அவர் ஜனாதிபதியாக இருந்தபோது அமெரிக்காவுக்கு போக வேண்டிய ஒரு சந்தர்ப்பம் வந்தது. அப்போது உலகத்திலேயே 2 பேர் தான், அதாவது ரெட்டினா சம்பந்தமான, நான் பழைய ஞாபகம் தப்பு எதாக இருந்தது நீங்கள் திருத்தணும், 2 பேர் தான் இருந்தாங்க. பாஸ்டனில் ஒரு டாக்டர் இருந்தார், இந்தியாவில் பத்ரிநாத் இருந்தார். அங்கே போனோமே அவ்வளோ தூரம் டாக்டரை பார்க்கலான்னு பாஸ்டன் போயிருந்தார். டாக்டரோட பேஷண்ட் இருக்கும்போது தெரியும் ஜனாதிபதினா அதுக்கு உண்டான எல்லா ஏற்பாடுகளோடு அங்கே இருந்தாங்க. பேஷண்ட் இருக்கும்போது சொன்னார், நான் இது மாதிரி நான் பட்டுக்கோட்டையில் பிறந்தேன், சென்னையில் ரொம்ப நாள் இருந்தேன், இப்போது என்னுடைய அதை என்ன சொல்கிறது பொறுப்பு காரணமாக நான் டெல்லியில் இருக்கேன்னு. அப்போ அவர் கேட்டார், நீங்கள் சென்னையிலேருந்து இதுக்காக வந்தீங்க பாஸ்டனுக்குன்னு, ஏன் அப்படி கேட்குறீங்கன்னு கேட்டார். இங்கே தான் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டட் கேசஸ் ரெட்டினாவில் வந்துன்னா நான் இங்கேருந்து பத்ரிநாத் சாருக்கு அனுப்புகிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாரான். அப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ண, இது அப்படியே அவர் ஸ்டேஜில் சொன்னது. அப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ணேன்னு கேட்டாரான், நீங்கள் சென்னைக்கு போய் டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத்கிட்டே நீங்கள் சர்ஜரி பண்ணிக்கினாரான். அப்போ அதெல்லாம் கேட்குறதுக்கு பெருமையாக இருந்தது. நிறைய அது இன்னொன்று ஒரு தரம் அதே காலகட்டம் 89 அல்ல 88 இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், ஹிந்துவில் ஒரு ஆர்டிக்கிள் வந்திருந்தது. அதாவது உலகத்திலேயே மிக அதிகமான விலை உள்ளது முதல்ல ஜப்பானில் ஒரு இடம், அந்த இடம் பேர் மறந்து போயிட்டேன், ஒரு சதுரடிக்கு ₹1 போட்டு அதுக்கு அடுத்தபடி அங்கேருந்து பாம்பே நாரிமன் பாயிண்ட்டுன்னு மாறிச்சுன்னு இருந்தாங்க. 3வது இப்போ வந்து இந்தியாவில் வந்து உலகத்திலே அதிகமான விலை உள்ளது இந்தியாவில் சென்னையில் உஸ்மான் ரோடுன்னு போட்டு கட்டிட முடிச்சிருந்தாங்க. ஏன் கட்டுரையில் வந்து அதை வந்து ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட இடத்த குறிப்பிட்டு எழுதியிருந்தாங்க, உஸ்மான் ரோடு ஒரு பகுதி. ஏன் வந்து அப்படி உஸ்மான் ரோடில் அவ்வளோ விலை ஆச்சுன்ட்டு காரணத்தை அவர் எழுதலை. அன்றைக்கி சாயந்தரமே காமராஜர் அரங்கத்தில் ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி நான் வந்திருந்தேன். டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் அவரும் அந்த ஸ்டேஜில் பக்கத்தில் உட்கார்ந்தார். நான் இந்த கட்டுரையை பற்றி சொல்லிவிட்டு ஏன் இந்தியாவில் வந்து உஸ்மான் ரோடு விலை ஆச்சுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் எழுதலை. அந்த விஷயம் எனக்கு தெரியும், நான் சொல்கிறேன். பத்ரிநாத் வந்து நம்பர் 10 உஸ்மான் ரோட்டில் இருந்தார். இப்போது ஜிஆர்டி வந்திருக்கார், அவர் கூட பார்த்தேன். ஜிஆர்டி வாங்கி அவங்க 1974 கடை ஆரம்பித்தாங்க. அங்கே இருந்து அவங்க அத்திம்பேர் கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி ராவன் இருந்தார். அவர் வந்து நடந்து வருவார் பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கு. எந்த இடமெல்லாம் அவர் பாதம் பட்டதோ அதெல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு கொதிச்சு போச்சு. எல்லாம் தங்க நகை கடை. அக்ஷய திருதி அன்னைக்கு இந்தியா பூரா ஒரு கணக்கு எடுத்தாங்க, ஹையஸ்ட்டு சேல்ஸ் எல்லோரும் பாம்பே இருக்குன்னு நினச்சோம். அதாவது பாம்பே, டெல்லி, கல்கட்டா, சென்னை 5 ஊருக்கு மெட்ரோ சிட்டிஸு. ஹையஸ்ட்டு சேல்ஸ் இந்தியாவில் அது வந்து உஸ்மான் ரோட்டில் குறிப்பிட்ட ஜிஆர்டியில் ஆரம்பித்து இந்த பள்ளிக்கூடம் வரைக்கும் வச்சுக்கலாம். அதுக்கு காரணம் அவர் பொன்னான பாதங்கள் தினம் அங்கே பட்டுந்தான்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் அன்றைக்கி பேசினேன். அப்புறம் அவர் வந்து தன்னை வந்து வெளியில் பிரபலப்படுத்திக்கிட்டு விரும்பவே மாட்டார், தன் ஆடம்பரமாக காமிச்சிக்க மாட்டார், தன்னை பற்றி பேசுகிறதும் அதை தற்பெருமையாக நினச்சிட்டு போகிறாங்கன்னு அப்படி நினைக்கக்கூடியவர். அப்போது பிஆர் குமார் வந்து அவரை பேட்டி எடுக்கிறதுக்கு வந்தார். அப்போது ஆல் இண்டியா ரேடியோடைய டைரக்டராக இருந்தார். அவர் இது ரேஸில் ஒத்துக்கலை, ரொம்ப அதை சிரமப்பட்டு கேட்டு அப்புறம் சரின்னு ஒத்துன்னு அந்த ஒரு பேட்டி நடந்தது. ஆனால் கண்டிஷன் என்ன, அவருடைய வாழ்நாளுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் அதை வந்து ஒளிபரப்பணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு இப்போ நம்ம எல்லோரும் வந்து ஆல் இண்டியா ரேடியோவில் ரிக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும். ஏன்னா அவர் குரலை அவரால் அவர் என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னு கேட்கறதுக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கும். இந்த நல்ல சில வார்த்தைகள் என் 6 நண்பரை பற்றி சொல்கிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்தா என்னுடைய எத்தனையோ பேர் கமலஹாசன் எழுதி கரெக்டாக எத்தனையோ பேர் கண்களில் வாழ்ந்துட்டுருக்கார். அவர் இன்றைக்கி மறைஞ்சிட்டா கூட இன்னும் இருந்துட்டுருக்கார். தேசிய சொத்து இல்லை, உலகத்தினுடைய சொத்து, உலகத்துக்கே மிகப்பெரிய இழப்பு, இது ஈடு செய்யவே முடியாது. அவரோட நான் படித்தேன்றதை ஒரு பெரிய பாக்கியமாக நினைக்கிறேன். அவர் என்றைக்கும் இருந்துட்டுருப்பார், எல்லார் மனுஷனும் இருந்துட்டுருப்பார். அவர் சேவை தொடர்ந்து இருக்கும். அதுக்கு மேலே எனக்கு பேச தெரியல. நமஸ்காரம்.
Thank you, sir. I call upon Padma Bhushan Kavi Perarasu Vairamuthu to offer his tribute to our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
பெருமக்களே வணக்கம். ஊரெல்லாம் கூடி ஒலிக்க அழுதிட்டு பேரினை நீக்கி பின் பிணமென்று பேரிட்டு சூரையங்காட்டிடை கொண்டு போய் சுட்டிட்டு நீரினுள் மூழ்கி நினைப்பு ஒழிந்தார்களே என்பது திருமூலர் ஒரு மனித மரணத்தை பற்றி குறித்திருக்கும் செய்தி. ஆனால் நீரினுள் மூழ்கி நினைப்பு ஒழியப்பட வேண்டியவரா பத்ரிநாத்? நான் அப்படி நினைக்கவில்லை. நினைக்கப்பட வேண்டியவர். ஒரு மனிதன் இந்த பூமியில் பிறக்கிற பொழுது கற்றுக்கொள்ள வருகிறான். அவன் மறைந்து விடைபெறுகிற பொழுது கற்றுக் கொடுத்து விட்டு போகிறான். பத்ரிநாத் என்ற மாமனிதர் இந்த மண்ணுக்கும் மருத்துவத்துக்கும் மனிதத்துக்கும் கற்றுக் கொடுத்த செய்திகள் யாவை என்பதுதான் நினைவு கூறப்பட வேண்டியவையும் போற்றி பாதுகாக்கப்பட வேண்டியவையுமாகும் என்பது என் கருத்து. அந்த மனிதர் மறைந்த பிறகு என்ன நிகழ்த்த வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லிவிட்டு சென்றார் என்ற கருத்தை டாக்டர் சுரேந்திரன் எனக்கு சொன்னார். நெகிழ்ந்து போனேன். சங்கரா நேத்ராலயாவின் பணிகள் நிறுத்தப்படக்கூடாது. எனக்காக யாரும் ஆரவாரம் செய்து அழக்கூடாது. சடங்குகளால் என் உடல் மூடப்பட்டு விடக்கூடாது. உங்கள் சாஸ்திரங்களால் நான் அதிகமாக கொண்டாடப்படக்கூடாது. வேண்டுமானால் பணியாற்றுகிற சங்கர நேத்ராலயா மருத்துவர்கள் தங்கள் நெஞ்சில் ஒரு கருப்பு துணியை மட்டும் ஒட்டி கொள்ளலாம். அதற்கு மேல் துக்கம் கொண்டாட உங்களுக்கு அனுமதி கிடையாது. நான் செயலுக்கு பிறந்தேன், செயலோடு வாழ்ந்தேன், செயலோடு விடைபெறுகிறேன் என்பதுதான் பத்ரிநாத் அவர்கள் இந்த மண்ணுக்கு விட்டு சென்றிருக்கிற செய்தி என்று நான் கருதுகிறேன். அவர் மறக்கப்பட மாட்டார். மண்ணுள்ள காலம் வரை தாவரம் மறக்கப்படாது. கண்ணுள்ள காலம் வரை பத்ரிநாத் மறக்கப்பட மாட்டார் என்று நான் உறுதியாக நம்புகிறேன். நீண்ட நேரம் பேசுவதற்கான மேடை இதுவன்று என்பது எனக்கு தெரியும். அதனால் என் நிறைவு கருத்தை சொல்ல வேண்டும் என்று ஆசைப்படுகிறேன். மனிதனுக்கு 3 விதமான வாழ்க்கை இருக்கிறது. ஒன்று உடலும் உடல் சார்ந்த வாழ்க்கை, உடம்புக்கான வாழ்க்கை. இதைத்தான் மண்ணில் ஜீவராசிகள் வாழ்ந்துவிட்டு போகின்றன, மனிதர்களும் வாழ்ந்துவிட்டு போகிறார்கள். இந்த உடம்புக்கான வாழ்க்கையை வாழ்ந்துவிட்டு செல்வது. இரண்டாவது இன்னொரு வாழ்க்கை இருக்கிறது, உடைமைக்கான வாழ்க்கை. தான் ஈட்டிய உடைமை, தான் பெற்ற உடைமை, நான் கட்டி காத்து வைத்திருக்கிற உடைமை, அந்த உடைமை சார்ந்து உடலின் ஐம்புலன்களை அதோடு பிணைத்து வாழ்ந்துவிட்டு போவது இரண்டாவது வகையான வாழ்க்கை. இந்த உடம்பு சார்ந்து வாழ்கிற வாழ்க்கை உடம்பு அழியும் போது அழிந்து விடுகிறது. இந்த உடைமை சார்ந்து வாழ்கிற வாழ்க்கை உடைமை தீரும்போது உடைந்து விடுகிறது. ஆனால் பத்ரிநாத் வாழ்ந்தது உடம்புக்கான வாழ்க்கை அல்ல, உடைமைக்கான வாழ்க்கை அல்ல, இந்த இரண்டையும் தாண்டி ஊருக்கான வாழ்க்கை. இந்த ஊருக்கான வாழ்ந்தவனின் வாழ்க்கை ஊர் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும், ஊரின் அசைவுகள் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும், உயிரின் கடப்பாடுகள் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் மறைவதில்லை. பத்ரிநாத் புகழ் கண்ணுள்ள காலம் வரை ஓங்கும் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். 2 விஷயங்களை ஒரு மனிதன் விட்டு செல்ல வேண்டும். ஒரு நல்ல குடும்ப உறுப்பினர்களுக்கு தன் பண்பை சொல்லி விட்டு போக வேண்டும், அல்லது தன் கருத்தை ஒரு நிறுவனமாக்கி விட்டு செல்ல வேண்டும். பத்ரிநாத் தன் கருத்தை, செயலை, லட்சியத்தை, தத்துவத்தை சங்கர நேத்ராலயா என்ற நிறுவனமாக்கிவிட்டு போயிருக்கிறார். அந்த நிறுவனம் வாழும், பத்ரிநாத் வாழ்வார். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
I am deeply saddened at the demise of Dr. Badrinath. I have had the opportunity to meet him on several occasions and also work with him. He is one of the most accomplished persons, yet a very humble and caring human beings I have ever met. His contribution to eye care is unparalleled, and he has given vision to millions of people. He ran one of the most iconic charitable organizations with deep concern for the society and those people who are disadvantaged. He will inspire us to do many more things, but we will miss him. Our prayers are with his family and all those at Shankar Netralaya. Om Shanti.
I now call upon Mr. Gurumurthy, Editor Tuklak, to say a few words about our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Namaskaram to all. I am grateful that the organizers invited me to this very elevating and noble occasion to pay homage to Dr. Badrinath, with whom I had very intimate, intense, and very purposeful association, but that is not what I am going to talk about today. Because by talking about him, I don't want to feel important. What is important today is that we have assembled here to pay homage to a person who doesn't need homage, recognition, remembrance. We need it. The society needs it. Because whom the society remembers, celebrates, iconizes, the society becomes. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yadyata charati sreshtaha tattatteva itaro janaya sayat pramanam kurute lokas tattanuvartate. Whom the society celebrates, the society becomes. So if we celebrate the right icons, celebrate the right people, remember the right people, the society becomes that kind of people. So we are living in a world of complete contrast. We are living in a materialist world, whom the economists call as a world driven by animal spirits. And in fact, even some prime ministers talked about this animal spirit driving this world, where wealth, power, and fame is the pursuit, universal pursuit of all. But here is a man who has had all this in abundance, but he had no use for them. He actually dedicated it to the society for a purpose, for posterity. This is what makes him an icon, an eternal icon. And Arun Shuri always used to tell me, Guru, in this entire world, if you see one civilization,
in which only individuals mattered, it is the Indian civilization. Whether it is Vedavyasa, whether it is Vasishta, down to Ramakrishna or Aurobindo, it is the individuals who have turned the society. And they became institutions. Individuals became institutions. And their thoughts, their work, their methods, their thoughts for future turned into institutions, and that is what we see in Shankara Nethralaya, the very purpose of Dr. Badrinath's being in this world. You know, he was immortalized by Shankara Nethralaya and the team that he created. The most important thing about our civilization, what we call as Sanatana, is continuity. The continuity of this civilization for 5,000 years has been made possible by great men. And Dr. Badrinath's mission is continuing through the team that he created, the dedicated people whom he inspired to pursue the path for which he institutionalized Shankara Nethralaya. And any talk about Dr. Badrinath will be incomplete without reference to his association with Kanchi Mahaswami. In fact, when I started for this meeting, my wife reminded me of an incident, a very moving incident. Dr. Badrinath had operated the Brahmacharya, and he remembered after coming back, that was the day of Chandra Grahanam. And he was worried that the Mahaswami might take bath immediately after he sees the Grahanam. So he had his snana, everything, and drove to Kanchipuram, worried that he might have a bath. Then the Mahaswami asked him, "You bayandutiyo? Naan snanam panniduvenu bayandutiyo? Enakku vibhuti snanam porum. Nee snanam panni உனக்கு அதனால் ஒரு கெட்ட பெயர் வந்துடக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக நான் ஸ்நானம் பண்ணவில்லை" என்று சொன்னாராம். இதில் முக்கியம் என்னவென்றால், பத்ரிநாத்தினுடைய நல்ல பெயர் சமுதாயத்துக்கு அவசியம் என்று அவரே நினைத்தார். இந்த சமுதாயத்தை நல்லவர்கள் தான் காக்க முடியும், நல்லவர்கள் தான் வழி நடத்த முடியும், நல்லவர்கள் தான் இதுக்கு திசை காட்ட முடியும். அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு நல்லவருக்கு இன்றைக்கு அஞ்சலி செலுத்துகிற ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கேற்று இதில் உங்கள் எல்லோரையும் பார்த்ததில் எனக்கு மிக மகிழ்ச்சி. இது ஒரு மகிழ்ச்சியான ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி என்று தான் நான் சொல்லுவேன். இதில் அவருடைய பெயர் அவருக்கு சொந்தம் இல்லை, அவருடைய குடும்பம் கூட இங்கே இல்லை. அவரை நாம் நினைப்பது, அவர் போல் நாம் ஏதாவது கொஞ்சமாவது ஆக முடியுமா என்பதை பார்ப்பதற்குத்தானே தவிர வேறு எதற்காகவும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி இல்லை என்று கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். வணக்கம்.
My dear friends at Shankar Nethralaya, I was very deeply sad and grieved to hear about the passing away of the great noble soul, Dr. Badrinath. Dr. Badrinath was a man of very high achievements, but with a great humility and humble demeanor. He was always helpful and always approachable. It is not a loss to Shankar Nethralaya or Chennai or Tamil Nadu, but it is a great loss to humanity at large. I personally have only known 2 or 3 people in my life of the eminence of Badri with a single-minded purpose to serve people and be self-deprecating and self-effacing at the same time. I pray to God that He will give strength to all His colleagues led by Dr. Surendran at Shankar Nethralaya to carry on this great work of service. I pray to God that He will merge in Him and attain eternal peace at the lotus feet of our Lord.
I call upon Mr. Murli, Director, the Hindu Publication Group, to say a few words about our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Namaskaram. We are all gathered here to pay our heartfelt tribute and respectful homage to a great human being who left us on 21st of this month. Someone who was a legend in transformative, compassionate and scientific eye care and an inspirational institution builder. He was a simple human being whose life's mission was to serve society through his chosen field of ophthalmology. The saga of Dr. Badrinath's journey in life and in his chosen field is remarkable indeed. Even at a very young age, he had the experience of seeing the helplessness of a totally blind relative who stayed with them for some days. That made a very, very deep impact on Dr. Badrinath, and it was deep-rooted in his memory, so much so that Dr. Badrinath's single-minded purpose was to qualify himself in medicine and do something to combat this, this blindness or eye disease. So, as we saw in the audio-visual, he qualified as a medical professional with flying colors, went to USA for his postgraduate studies in Grasslands Hospital, New York University, then in Massachusetts Infirmary, Eye and Ear Infirmary, where he came under the tutelage of the legendary surgeon, Dr. Shepans, who he considered his guru and to whom he promised that he will return to India, though there were many opportunities for him to emigrate to US or Canada and practice there. When he came to India, he had some difficult times initially. As was said, he was worked in voluntary health services, then practiced in ophthalmology and vitreoretinal services in HM Hospital and later in Vijaya Hospital. And he had the extreme good fortune, as was told by Mr. Gurumurthy, to do a surgery on Paramacharya of Kanchi, which was a turning point in his life, we can say, because after that, His Holiness Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal ordained him to start an eye care institution for the community where all sections of the people can be treated. And thus started his journey of his tryst with Sankar Netralaya. He started this great institution in the year 1978 with his ideals and objectives of, one, providing quality eye care at an affordable cost and accessible to all sections, particularly the poorer sections of society. Two, to train ophthalmologists so that they can farm out to different parts of India and do the similar kind of service that he envisaged for Shankar Netralaya, and also do research in diseases that are relevant to the country. And what he has built up over these 4 decades and more is something remarkable. It's a world-renowned institution. It is incomparable in medicine. Dr. Badrinath himself was one of the earliest vitreoretinal surgeons of India, and he brought to bear his skill and above all, his humanity and compassion to Shankar Netralaya, and in doing so, mentored and trained so many wonderful consultants. The other aspect that is notable is Dr. Badrinath did not want to build this institution by borrowing, because he knew the pressure to repay will also make the hospital earn more money, and therefore they cannot be affordable to poorer sections of society. Therefore, he decided at the outset not to have, but only rely on donations from a lot of well-wishers and industrialists, and even patients who have come to him have donated to this institution. He had a Midas touch for whatever he did, the way this institution has come up. I think it's the pride of Chennai, not only Chennai, but India. And in this connection, it is very heartening to see that Chennai and Tamil Nadu are home to some of the finest non-profit healthcare institutions in our country. Starting from Shankar Netralaya, we have then Voluntary Health Services, Cancer Institute, and the CMC Vellore, which are all doing fine community selfless service. Coming back to Dr. Badrinath, he had also initiated another policy that all the professionals here would take only salaries and not consultants' fees, as is the practice nowadays everywhere else. The eminent jurist, Mr. Nani Palkiwala, was so impressed by this fact that he described Shankar Netralaya as the greatest charitable institution in India and donated a huge part of his wealth to this institution. Of course, many other philanthropists and well-wishers and enlightened corporates have given donations to this institution, and this institution now boasts of state-of-the-art equipment, follows high quality standards, high ethical standards, and above all, the consultants, the team and the family of Shankar Netralaya have inculcated the same spirit of community service, selfless service, compassionate healthcare, and carrying forward what the principles and vision of the founder. On a personal note, my association with Dr. Badrinath goes back to 1973 when he was practicing in Vijaya Hospital. And that was, since I had high myopia, periodic eye tests were required. That's when I first met him. And ever since then, has been his patient for many years, then patient of Shankar Netralaya. He himself took personal interest even for something like refraction. So I felt so bad that I said, you are such an eminent surgeon, please put me on to somebody else for this test so that I won't burden you with this. He then put me on to Dr. Surendran, who is now and has always been my go-to person in Shankar Netralaya. Another memorable thing about Dr. Badrinath, which I'm eternally grateful for, is somewhere in 1998, I ran into a serious problem with my retina. Dr. Badrinath is the one who organized, since that's Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore had pioneered a particular type of surgery for that. He organized, sent me there, but what touched me most was his friend, doctor who studied with him when he was in US. He requested him to be present in the surgery when this was done. I think that is an unforgettable incident in my life. Dr. Badrinath has mentored and trained so many people. There are some brilliant consultants here who have the same spirit of service as the founder. And unfortunately, in the last years of his life, he was stricken with a debilitating disease that was degenerative, and he couldn't go to where his life's mission has been, to the edifice he has created, Shankar Netralaya. But the senior leaders in Shankar Netralaya, Dr. Surendran, Dr. Girish Rao, and then very senior professionals like Dr. Lingam Gopal, Dr. Prema Padmanabhan, along with many of their brilliant young colleagues, have gradually learned to adapt to life without the founder and how Shankar Netralaya, this is what the founder would have liked. Therefore, I feel the destiny of Shankar Netralaya is in very good hands now. Dr. Badrinath's legacy, his vision, his principles, his values will live on because they are so deeply embedded in the DNA, collective DNA of Shankar Netralaya, that Shankar Netralaya is, I'm very confident that it will reach even greater heights, and that is the greatest tribute that can be paid to this visionary, humanistic founder who stood tall among all the eye care professionals in the country, stood like a colossus, but he was a very simple man, full of modesty, and he was simple in his life, and he went in a simple way. My commiserations to the family, Dr. Vasanti Badrinath, Seshu Badrinath, and Anant Badrinath, their sons, who couldn't be present here today because of their mourning and also because of the traditional rituals that they are going through. I'm sure they will get to terms with that. Whenever a founder like legendary founder like Dr. Badrinath passes, there's a big void left. But then, as he wished, this void will not be felt either in the family or in the institution that he created, nurtured, and treated it as a lifelong mission. I'm indeed privileged to pay my humble tribute to this great soul whose noble deeds will inspire us, all of us, for generations to come. Thank you.
It is with a deep sense of loss at a personal and societal level that we receive the news of Dr. Badrinath's passing, and I offer my sincere condolences to Mrs. Badrinath and the entire Shankar Netralaya team on the loss of their founding father. Respectfully kind to all, irrespective of age or position, was a quality that defined him, and it came from an innate humility, a faith in God, and a strong belief that he was born to serve humanity. His life's mission he accomplished with missionary zeal, winning the trust and confidence of philanthropists and the love of his doctors and patients. God and his gurus showered their grace on Dr. and Mrs. Badrinath, guiding them all the way. His knowledge and his quest for excellence in care and the professional respect that he gave others, true to the institutions, the finest of talent. The defining culture, laced with personal care and empathy, attracted patients from all over the country and abroad. He truly lived by the teaching that service to man is service to God. Eyesight is particularly precious to each one of us, and multitudes of people will remember him at a personal level for the difference he made to their lives and to our country. May his soul rest in peace.
Mr. R. Rajagopal, Managing Partner, Arvind Laboratories, and Board Member, VRF, is here to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
நமஸ்காரம். எனக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் புரியலை. எல்லாரும் கண்டாலன்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இது எங்கள் சம்பிரதாயத்தை நாங்கள் கல்யாண சாவு அப்படிம்போம். A man has lived his full life in service to humanity, service to community, reached the heights of where most icons would aspire for. ஒரு பத்ரிநாத் வந்து சங்கரநேத்தாலே ஆரம்பித்தார். பல பத்ரிநாத்தில் உருவாக்கியிருக்கார். லிங்கம் கோபால், சுரேந்திரன். ஒரு நாளைக்கு லிங்கம் கோபாலை பற்றி பேச்சு வந்தது. நான் லே பர்சன் அவர் எப்படி சார்னு கேட்டேன். I'm a board member, I met him over 100 times. And every time there is something new to learn from him. அவர் சொன்னார், கையை பிடிச்சி நான் அவருக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தேன். நான் 8 அடி பாய்ஞ்சா அவன் 24 அடி பாயிறான். Arguably is today the best retinal surgeon. This happened 15 years ago. Where Badrinath trained people like that. Lingam Gopal and his wife. She is arguably the best glaucoma surgeon. So whatever a single Badrinath has achieved, I am absolutely sure that this team of senior consultants, imbibed in his own philosophy of service to society, இவர் 8 அடி பாஞ்சா அவன் 800 அடி பாவா, கவலையே பட வேண்டாம். பத்ரிநாத்தோடைய மறைவை பற்றி வருத்தப்பட வேண்டியதில்லை. ஏன்னா அவருடைய காலம் தெரிந்து விட்டது. முரளி சொன்ன மாதிரி லாஸ்ட் ஃபியூ இயர்ஸ் யூ ஹேட் சஃபர். அது அவள் கர்மா, அதை அனுபவித்தா அந்த பர்டிகுலர் செகண்டில் அவர் ஆத்மா ஸ்ரீமன் நாராயண் திருவடியில் சேர்ந்தாச்சு. ஒரே ஒரு இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ் சொல்லிவிட்டு நான் விடைபெறேன். திடீர் ஒரு நாளைக்கு 1987 நினைக்கிறேன், ஃபோன் பண்ணார். ராஜகோபால், இந்த வண்டி வேகமாக ஓட்டியாமேன்னார். ஒன்றுமே புரியல. என்ன சார் அப்படின்னா, வண்டி வேகமாக ஓட்டியா இல்லையா சொல்லு அப்படின்னு. ஆமாம் சார்ண்ணா. வாங்க ட்ரிச்சிக்கு போகலாம் அப்படின்னார். ஒன்றும் கேட்கல. சார் என் வண்டி சின்ன வண்டி, உங்களால் உள்ளே வர முடியாதுன்னா. ஏறுங்க போகலாம் அப்படின்ட்டார். என்ன காரணம்னா, ஸ்ரீரங்கம் ராஜகோபுரத்தை கட்டின முக்கூர் அழசிங்கர் அவர் கண்ணு துடிச்சுட்டு இருக்கார் வலி. 1956 அவருக்கு ஒரு கண்ணு கேட்ராக்ட் ஆச்சு. சாதாரணமாக 6 மாதத்துக்குள்ளே 2வது கண்ணு பண்ணணும். பண்ணலை. ஏன்னா சன்னியாசி ஆகிட்டார். ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்லாம் போகக்கூடாதுன்னு சாஸ்திரம். 1987 32 வருஷம் கழிச்சு அவர் கண்ணு படுற வலி தாங்கலை. உடனே பத்ரிநாத் கூப்பிட்டா. பத்ரிநாத் சொன்னார், அது ஒன்றும் ஆப்ரேட் பண்ண முடியாது, ஒரு பியூர் ஆல்கால் இன்ஜெக்ஷன் போடுங்கன்னு அங்கே இருக்க லோக்கல் சொன்னார். அதில் நீ தான் வரணுன்ட்டாவா. ஏறினா வண்டியில் 150 கிலோமீட்டர் ஸ்பீடில் இங்கேருந்து ட்ரிச்சிக்கு 4 மணி நேரத்தில் போயாச்சு. 1987 ரோட்ஸ். வழி ஏதான சந்தில் போக முடியுமா உள்ள அப்படின்னார். சரி சார், கொள்ளிடக்கார வழியாக கொண்டு போயிட்டேன். ஏன்னா அவர் தெரியும் ஒரு 100 பேர் வெயிட் பண்ணிருப்பான் அந்த ஜங்ஷனில். அந்த படாடோபம் யாரோ சொன்னால் ஹீ டசன்ட் லைக் ஆல் திஸ். கொள்ளிடக்காரில் உள்ளே விட்டாச்சு. அவங்க என்ன நினச்சான், அது சேவைக்கு வந்திருக்கான்னு நினச்சான். இல்லை டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் வந்திருக்கார். உடனே அத்தனை பேர் அடித்து பிடிச்சி இங்கே வந்தான். சார் எல்லோரும் வெளியில் அனுப்புங்க, இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆகிடும், அதனாலன்ட்டு எல்லோரும் அனுப்பிச்சான் வழியில். என்ன போட போகிறேன்னு கேட்டார். பியூர் ஆல்கஹால் இன்ஜெக்ஷன். வலிக்குமா? வலிக்காது, வலியை போக்கும் அப்படின்னார். இன்ஜெக்ஷன் போட்டு உட்காந்துருக்கார் ½ an hour. த பெயின் ஸ்டார்டட் கம்மிங் டவுன். இருந்துட்டு நாளைக்கு போறியான்னு கேட்டார் முக்கூர் அழசிங்கர், ஹிஸ் ஹோலினஸ். இல்லை எனக்கு காத்தால் 8 மணிக்கு ஒரு சர்ஜரி இருக்குது, உங்கள்கிட்ட ஐ வில் டேக் லீவ் அப்படின்னார் அவர். சொல்லிவிட்டு உடனே உங்களுக்காக டிஃபன் பண்ணிருக்கா, சாப்பிட்டு போங்க, டிரைவருக்கு முதல்ல கொடுன்னார் அவர். நம்ம சமுதாயத்தில் டிரைவரை வெளியில் வச்சு சாப்பிட சொல்கிறார். உங்களோட கொஞ்சம் சாப்பாடு போடுன்னார் முக்கூர் அழசிங்கர். போட்டுட்டு 1:15 காத்தால் 8 மணிக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணால் மிஸ்ஸஸ் பத்ரிநாத் டெல்ஸ் மீ தட் இஸ் கான் டு த ஹாஸ்பிட்டல். ஸோ அந்த கர்ம வீரர் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் அதுக்கெல்லாம் எனக்கு பேச தெரியல இவ்வளோ பெரிய கூட்டத்தில். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அண்ணன் இல்லை எனக்கு. அதனால் நான் அவரை சீஃபாக நினைக்கல, சேர்மன் ஆஃப் சங்கரநேத்தர் நினைக்கல. தி எல்டர் பிரதர் தட் ஐ நெவர் ஹேட் வாஸ் பிளஸ்ட் டு ஹேவ். அப்படி தான் கடைசி வரைக்கும் பையனை. எல்லாரும் ஹீரோ அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறேன். நிறைய குறைகள் உண்டு, அதை பேசுகிற இது இல்லை. பெருமாள் எதுக்கு இப்படி கஷ்டப்படுத்தினார்னு நினைச்ச உண்டு, டைம் உண்டு. பிரெயினில் லீஷன், பார்க்கின்சன் டிசீஸ், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஆத்மாவுக்கு வரக்கூடாது இதெல்லாம் வந்திருக்கு. ஆனால் போன்ற ஜென்மங்கள் 1000 ஜென்மங்கள். கிருஷ்ணன் சொல்கிறான் நற்பே பாகம் ஜாதனாசன்ட்டு. நான் பிறந்தன்னைக்கே நீயும் பிறந்தேன்ட்டார் அர்ஜுனர்கிட்ட. ஸோ அந்த ஜன்மாக்களில் வந்த கர்மமெல்லாம் தீர்ந்தது. பத்ரிநாத் என்ற ஆத்மா என்று ஸ்ரீமன் நாராயண் திருவடியில் இருக்கு. யாரும் வருத்தப்பட வேணாம். தன்னுடைய 3 காரியம் அடிக்கடி சொல்கிறேன்: அவைலபிலிட்டி, அஃபோர்டபிலிட்டி, ஆக்சசிபிலிட்டி ஃபார் த அப்ரஸ்ட் கிளாஸஸ். இனிமேல் he has established a benchmark which any hospital, not just ophthalmologic, எவனாக இருந்தாலும் இந்த அஃபோர்டபிலிட்டி ஃபார் த அப்ரஸ்ட் கிளாஸஸ் பண்ணாமல் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் நடத்த முடியாது. அந்த இதை வந்து நாட் ஜஸ்ட் ஆப்தால்மாலஜி பட் என்டையர் ஹியூமனிட்டி பண்ணுற மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டார். All of us, let us celebrate the life of a great man called Badrinath and not griever. Thank you very much.
Dr. Badrinath, whom I knew well for more than 4 decades, was a man of extraordinary gifts, resolve, and commitment. I don't need to speak about his eminence as an internationally reputed vitreoretinal surgeon who did around 20,000 retinal operations and treated more than 100,000 people over his professional career. He founded one of modern India's great institutions, Shankara Nethralaya, and set it firmly on the path of sustainable growth, diversification, and a commitment to excellence in every field it ventured into. An inspiring and charismatic leader, he believed in teamwork and in bringing in and developing talent systematically. He brought the gifts of a master strategist, innovator, and entrepreneur to the non-profit medical ecosystem. A legend in the field of scientific and compassionate medicine, he invested wisely in research, training, and was open to new ideas and new ways of doing medicine. Dr. Badrinath was a teacher par excellence, beloved of his students and everyone he worked with. The man who transformed eye care in India remained humble till the end, considering himself an ordinary man. The instructions he left on what should be done after his death are moving beyond words. I pay my tribute to one of the great Indians of our time.
Mr. V. Sriram, entrepreneur, music historian, and heritage activist, will say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Good morning, friends. It is a well-known fact that Chennai is the medical tourism capital of India. And in 2016, there was a newspaper article which said that 48% of India's medical tourism income comes from Tamil Nadu, and a very, very significant portion of that comes from Chennai city. This was not because of the plethora of private hospitals that exist over here, but because of the socially responsible institutions like Shankara Nethralaya that flourish. People from all over the world come here for treatment. When I was a student in Calcutta and hardly had any connection with this city, he was already a legend and Shankara Nethralaya was already a legend in Bengal. People considered it a matter of pilgrimage to come here and to get treated in this institution and go back. I did not know Dr. Badrinath personally, but his kindness enveloped me in many ways. In 2008, I was diagnosed with a fairly serious eye problem at that time, which I did not realize the magnitude of, and I went to Shankara Nethralaya quite late. The damage had been done, but that was when I realized that I was in an institution where God was present at all times. Whether it was the way the liftman attended to you, whether it was the way the receptionist took down your name and gave you your number, the way the file moved with you everywhere a few minutes ahead of you. It was unlike most other hospitals where the doctor would ask you all the details, even though you were a patient of the institution, as though he was seeing you for the first time. But in Shankara Nethralaya, everything would be ahead of you and the information would be available. The treatment was done, it was successful, and at the end of it, what I loved most was the way they counseled you about what has been lost, but what is still with you and what you can make the most out of what is remaining with you. And after the treatment was over, I remember the discharge procedure. They said there is a settlement to be done. So I said, how much do I have to pay? They said, we owe you 59 rupees and 50 paisa. I have never experienced this in any other institution where the hospital returns money saying that this was unused. And I was, I returned the money and I said, I'm not going to take this money. And of course, later I made a donation. That's a different matter. But that is Shankar Nethralaya to me. And after that, I have been going there every year as a patient. But it is, in my view, a pilgrimage that I do because you come back cleansed, because you see how many people come there with hope for treatment. And all of this was because of the vision of this one great man. I am eternally grateful to Dr. Badrinath. Thank you very much.
வணக்கம். தானத்திலே சிறந்தது வித்யாதானம், கண் தானம் சொல்லுவாங்க. பல லட்சம் பேர் பார்வை இல்லாதவர்களுக்கு பார்வை கொடுத்தவர் டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் அவர்கள். மருத்துவ உலகத்தில் டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் அவர்களை மதிக்காதவர்களே கிடையாது. அவர் நான் முதல்ல சந்தித்தது 80s பிகினிங்கில். கண் தானத்தை பற்றி ஒரு விளம்பர படம் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு பத்ரிநாத் அவர்கள் கேட்டிருக்காங்கன்னு சொல்லி எஸ்பி முத்துராமன் கிட்ட கேட்டாங்க. நான் அப்போ எந்த விளம்பர படத்துலையும் நான் பண்ணது கிடையாது, இல்லைன்னு நான் சொல்லிட்டேன். சரியா, நீ அவர்கிட்டே நீங்கள் சொல்லிவிடு எஸ்பிஎம் சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் டே பத்ரி சார் வந்து பார்க்க வந்தாங்க. அவர் பார்த்து அவர் அந்த ஒரு ஆஜானுபாவம், அவர் உட்காந்து இந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் விளம்பர படம் பண்ணணும்னு கேட்ட உடனே என்னால் ஒன்றும் வாஸ் மிஸ்மரைஸ்ட், ஒன்றுமே சரி சார் அப்படின்னு நான் சொன்னேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் அதுக்காக ஒரு எத்தனை வாட்டி எனக்கு நன்றி சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னு சொன்னால் அது அவ்வளோ பெரிய அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நல்ல மனிதர் பார்க்கவே முடியாது. என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அவர் ஒரு சித்தர், ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு மகான். அவர் நம்மளோட இல்லை, ஆனால் அவர் உருவாக்கி இருக்கிற ஆயிரக்கணக்கான அவருடைய சிஷ்யர்கள் அவர் தொடர்ந்த பணி, அவர் செஞ்ச பணியை இன்னும் செஞ்சிருக்காங்க. அவர் ஸ்தாபித்த சங்கர் நேத்ராலயா என்றென்றும் இருக்கும். அது இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் பத்ரிநாத்துடைய பேர் என்றென்றுக்கும் இருக்கும். ஸோ அமர பத்ரிநாத் அவருடைய நாம் வாழ்க, ஒரு ஆத்மா சாந்தி. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Professor Dr. V. Kamakoti, Director IIT Madras, will say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
பெரியவாளுக்கு ஆப்ரேஷன் பண்ணதில் கடைசியில் அவரை கட்டு பிரிக்கிற அன்றைக்கி பெரியவா பத்ரிநாத் சாருக்கு டாக்டருக்கு ஒரு மோதிரம் போடணும்னு நினச்சார். கட்டை பிரித்தோன்னு முதல்ல அவர் பெரியவா பார்த்தது டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் தான். இப்போ கூட இருக்கிற சிஷ்யாவை கையில் மோதிரம் போடுனார். அந்த மோதிரத்தில் உருவான சங்கர நேத்ராலயா இன்றைக்கி இவ்வளோ பெரிய ஒரு இதில் வந்திருக்கு. குறிப்பாக ஐஐடியில் எங்களோட கலீக்கு அவரோட குழந்தைக்கு ஒரு கண்ணில் கொஞ்சம் ப்ராப்ளம், அவர் ஜெர்மனியில் இருந்தார். ஜெர்மனியில் போனோடனே இது ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டுக்காக ஒரு டாக்டர்கிட்ட போனார். எவ்வளவு இது மாதிரி சர்ஜரிஸ் எவ்வளோ பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னு கேட்டவர் ஒரு 7 சர்ஜரி நான் பண்ணியிருக்கோன்னு ரொம்ப பெருமையாக சொன்னாராம். அடுத்த வாரம் ஹி கேம் பேக் டு இந்தியா. சங்கர நேத்ராலயா போனோன்னே அங்கே போய் டாக்டரை பார்த்தார். இது மாதிரி எவ்வளோ செஞ்சுரிஸ் நீங்கள் பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னு ஒரு 2000 கிட்டத்தட்ட பண்ணியிருப்போம் நாங்கள். அந்த அளவு so many prominent doctors have come, so many intricate surgeries have been performed. 2006 டாக்டர் பத்ரிநாத் அவரோட விஷனரி, he said that medicine and technology have to come together. ஒரு MOU சைன் பண்ணோம் ஐஐடி மெட்ராஸோட. அதுலேருந்து நிறையா ஒர்க்கு பண்ணிட்டு வரோம். இப்போ குறிப்பாக இப்போ ரீசெண்ட் டைம்ஸில் நாங்கள் ஒரு மெடிக்கல் ஸ்கூல் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். அதில் ஆப்தமாலஜிக்கு சங்கர நேத்ராலயாவோட ஒரு MOU பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அவரோட பெரிய விஷன் மெடிசன் அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி மஸ்ட் கம் டுகெதர். டயக்னோசிஸும் சரி, அது பின்னாடி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டும் சரி, டெக்னாலஜி ஷுட் ஹாவ் அன் இன்டர்வென்ஷன். அப்போ தான் அந்த அஃபோர்டபுள் accessible health care, quality health care to all முடியுங்கிறது அவரோட ஒரு தீர்க்க தரிசனம். இதுக்காக நாங்கள் ஐஐடி மெட்ராஸும் சங்கர நேத்ராலயாவும் சேர்ந்து நிறைய உழைச்சி அவரோட விஷனை நாங்கள் பூர்த்தி பண்ணுவோம்னு சொல்லி வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி சொல்லிக்கிறேன். இன்றைக்கி அவரோட ஆத்மா சாந்தி அடையணும்.
We are remembering Dr.
Badrinath, who is no more, and Shankar Netranaya, which continues to carry on with the value system he set for humanity. I was introduced to Shankar Netranaya way back when the late Nani Palkiwala fondly used to talk about Dr. Badrinath and Shankar Netranaya and what it has done. I was very fond of this institution. Every interaction I had with him since he was the chairman of TCS, he definitely used to talk about what this great man and the great institution was doing. I also had the opportunity to interact with Dr. Badri, his wife, and the institution of Shankar Netranaya in trying to put together systems, processes, and records of the patients. It also brought me to this institution a number of times. I was able to see at close quarters what was happening. I personally experienced this institution and the closeness of Dr. Badri and the way he felt about this. All said, is one of those remarkable contributions which very few people are able to believe, passionate, and carry it forward. May his legacy continue forever. And I would like to express my sincere condolences to the family. But more importantly, we will remember him and carry his ideals without any consideration and touching every single person in need of an eye or an eye treatment. Thank you.
Mr. Ramaswamy, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, is here to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
நமஸ்காரம். நான் எல்லாரையும் மாதிரி பத்ரிநாத்தை பற்றி ரொம்ப கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன், எனக்கு நேராக பார்த்ததில்லை. முதல் தரமாக அவரை பற்றி தெரிஞ்சு வந்தபொழுது ஒரு அன்யூஷுவல் சர்க்கம்ஸ்டான்ஸ். Then the finance minister called me one day and said, hey, நேத்ராலயாவுக்கு அந்த ரிசர்ச் ஃபவுண்டேஷனுக்கு R&D கிராண்ட் இது அப்ரூவல் கிடைக்கலையா, கேட்கணும் பண்ணி கொடுன்னு கேட்டார். நேத்ராலயா கொடுக்கறதுக்கு என்ன சார் சம்மந்தம் வரப்போகுது, டிலே ஆகிறதுப்பா, பண்ணி கொடுத்தேன். அதான் முதல் தரமாக அவரோட நான் பழகினது. 2014 இங்கேருந்து ரிட்டையர் திரும்பி வந்த பொழுதோ அவர் கூப்பிட்டார். அது வரைக்கும் நான் ஒரு அட்மைரராக இருந்தேன். 2014 அப்புறம் ஐ திங்க் ஐ பிகம் அ பக்த் ஆஃப் நேத்ராலயா அண்ட் பத்ரிநாத். நம்ம எத்தனையோ ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஆலயம்னு பேர் வச்சுருக்கிற ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் எங்கே பார்த்துருப்பேன்? நேத்ராலயான்னு ஆலயம்னு பேர் வச்சுருக்கார். ஆலயம்ன்ற வார்த்தை பேரை கொடுத்ததுலேயே அவருடைய தத்துவங்கள், அவருடைய சேவைக்கான கமிட்மெண்ட் எல்லாம் வெளியில் வந்துள்ளது. இவர் ஃப்ரெண்டு கோம்பக்கோட்டி சொன்ன மாதிரி பெரியவா ஆசீர்வாதம் அவருக்கு நிறைய உண்டு. அவர் சொன்னால் பூமியில் சூரியன் ஊச்சிருக்கிற வரைக்கும் நேத்ராலயா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு பெரியவரால் வாழ்க்கப்பட்ட ஒரு நிறுவனம் அது. சூரியனுக்கு வயசுக்கும் நேத்ராலயோட வயசு ஒன்றுன்னு பெரியவா ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணியிருந்தானா அது பெரிய தத்துவம்தான். அதை நாம் சாதாரணமாக ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியை பார்க்க முடியாது. நான் ஒரு 76 பேர்கிட்ட அங்கே கன்சல்டன்ஸ்கிட்ட 1-to-1 இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அந்த காஞ்சி பெரியவா சொன்னது நிலைக்கணும்னா எப்படி இந்த நேத்ராலயா சஸ்டைனபிலிட்டி, லாங் டேர்ம் சஸ்டைனபிலிட்டி அண்ட் சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் இம்மார்டாலிட்டி ஃபார் தி இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் அப்படின்னு பார்க்கணுன்னா அதுக்கு என்ன வேணுங்கிறதுக்காக ஒரு ஐ டிட் சம் டீப் ரிசர்ச் அட் த டைம். அந்த 76 பேர்லேயும் தனித்தனி மனுஷா எல்லாருடைய மனசுலேயும் பத்ரிநாத் பெர்மனண்ட்டாக வாழறா. அதனால் இந்த பத்ரிநாத்ங்கிறது என்னை பார்த்தா ஒரு ஸ்பிரிட். இட் இஸ் நாட் டு பி சீன் ஆஸ் அ மேன் ஹூ லிவ்ட். இட்ஸ் அ ஸ்பிரிட் தட் வில் லிவ் ஃபார் எவர். இல்லைன்னா இப்போ காஞ்சி பெரியவா ஈஸ்வரமா ஆதரவு பண்ண மாட்டான். இந்த நேத்ராலயானுடைய தத்துவங்கள் I think you cannot take it limited only to service. I think it is a cause for humanity itself. அதனால் என்னை பொறுத்த மட்டும் நம்ம எல்லாருமே ஒரு விதத்தில் பத்ரிநாத்துடைய ஃபேமிலி தான். We are extended family members of Badrinath. Badrinathங்கிறது என்ன, as I said before, is a spirit that will live forever.
I don't think it has end. அவருடைய தத்துவங்கள், I had an opportunity to interact with him one-to-one because I was trying to build an institutional system for permanency of this institution. கமிட்மெண்ட்டுங்கிறது ஒன்று, டோட்டாலிட்டி அப்படிங்கிறது. அதனால் இவ சொன்ன பத்ரிநாத்ங்கிறத பேர் ஆட் பண்ணணும்னு. இட்ஸ் ட்ரூலி பத்ரிநாத் சங்கர் நேத்ராலயா. இட் இஸ் நாட் நேத்ராலயா பத்ரிநாத், பட் தட் திங் சங்கர் நேத்ராலயா பத்ரிநாத். அவரோட தான் அவருடைய விஷன் பற்றி நம்மளே சில பேருக்கு லைஃப் மிஷன் சொல்லுவாள். இவருடைய மிஷனே லைஃப், நேத்ராலயாவே அவருக்கு லைஃப். ஐ திங்க் தேர்ஃபோர் இன் மை ஒப்பீனியன் நேத்ராலயா, as long as நேத்ரா lives, பத்ரிநாத் will live. And பெரியவரே ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணியிருக்கார், அதனால் நேத்ரா will be there. In my opinion, Badrinath is an immortal soul. Thank you.
I'm deeply saddened to know about the passing away of Padma Bhushan Dr. Badrinath, who founded one of India's biggest charitable eye hospitals. Apart from being a phenomenal surgeon himself, Dr. Badrinath has performed over 20,000 surgeries and seen over 100,000 patients. His abiding belief in affordable eye care for the poor and the way he went about achieving it has made him an icon in the eyes of millions of Indians. Equally important is this enormous legacy that he has left behind with this amazing institution that he has founded called Shankar Nethralaya. The relationship between the Sanma group, especially my late father Sri N. Shankar and Dr. Badrinath, goes back several decades. The Sanma group has supported several projects, both medical infrastructure and research at Shankar Nethralaya, including the Shankar Nethralaya Sanmar Center of Excellence for Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Through his institution, his name will be immortal, and it is my privilege to play a very small part in being associated with the Shankar Nethralaya.
I call upon Mr. Raju Barwale, Managing Director, MICO and Board Member MRF, to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged to have been asked to pay my tribute and homage to a pioneer, to a teacher, to a visionary and a humanitarian who transformed eye care in the country. I offer my heartfelt condolences. Our association with Dr. Badrinath and Shankar Nethralaya started somewhere in the late 80s. The establishment of Ganpati Nethralaya in Jalna, Maharashtra, became possible through his guidance and through his support over a period of time. With his continued support and blessings, the hospital has progressed well and is providing support for eliminating blindness, which has been the main objective of Shankar Nethralaya in that part of the country. We also had the privilege of having him at our home a number of times, and whenever he visited us, my mother always cooked food for him, which he relished. Though Dr. Badrinath is not with us anymore physically, we all agree that he pervades us through the Nethralaya and its branches, and of course, as spoken by earlier speakers, many professionals he has nurtured over the period of time. I think it's a great responsibility on all of us to take this forward in spirit. As the earlier speaker said, he has left behind, and as he would have liked to be done. On this occasion, our prayers are with you, in this moment of grief, the entire Mahiko Ganapati Netralaya family, Sushma and myself, convey our deepest condolences to Vasanti ji, Sheshu, and Anant and the entire SN family. May the departed soul rest in eternal peace. Om Shanti.
My salams to everyone. I was very saddened to learn the demise of our respected Dr. S.S. Badrinath Sahib, founder and chairman emeritus of Sankaraya Netralaya, a dedicated doctor who worked towards a noble cause, helping economical weaker sections of society. Dr. Sahib was well loved in the community and society for his charities and good work, and he will be remembered by one and all for a long time to come. Sankaraya Netralaya is a charitable and non-profitable eye hospital in Chennai. He was a pious and God-fearing person who respected all communities irrespective of caste, creed or religion. Our hearts are filled with sympathy for the family members, and we hope that time will soon ease the pain. Dr. Saab was a recipient of the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan Award by the Government of India. I extend my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family members and pray to God to keep the soul rest in peace. It will be difficult to fill up the vacuum led by Dr. Saab. It is a great loss to the country and humanity in particular.
We have with us Mrs. Girija Vaidyanathan, former Chief Secretary to the Government of Tamil Nadu, to say a few words about our founder.
Good afternoon, everyone. I thank the organizers for this opportunity because I am speaking here about Dr. Badrinath, not on my own behalf, but on behalf of my father, Mr. S. Venkatramanan, who left us same last week. Both of them were close friends, and that's how we came to know Dr. Badrinath. And this association started in the same as Mr. Murli was saying. We took both of us daughters to see Dr. Badrinath in 1977 when my father came back from the US and Dr. Badrinath was practicing in Vijaya Hospital. And that's how we came to meet him, but the association between the young doctor and the not so young civil servant continued for many, many years. As Shankar Netralaya was formed, my father became a deep admirer of Dr. Badrinath, and Dr. Badrinath became a close friend of the family. There are many, many occasions where he stepped outside his brief. Again, most of the speakers before me have attested to his personal touch, how he came out. For instance, when I also have been a long-term patient of Shankar Netralaya. I have a lot of, what shall I say, debts to pay. I am a chronic eye disease sufferer. When I had my first round of iridocyclitis, Dr. Badri came out on Deepavali day to treat me. And then when my father fell ill for the first time in 2000 with TB of the brain, Dr. Badri came home with Dr. Bhaskar. Not only came home, but stayed with the family through his treatment. I think that the bond between the two men was long, and it seems it has gone on till the very end, where they both left for their heavenly abode within 3 days of each other. My father stayed on the board of Shankar Netralaya. He worked with them, and he was very close to the institution for many, many years. As all the speakers before me have said many things, the gentle giant who shaped this visionary institution. Through my personal and professional life, I had so many occasions to feel both in awe of Dr. Badrinath for what he had achieved, to feel, as everyone said, to have built an institution where each brick spoke his name with respect. It's not easy to create this kind of institution wherever you work. I saw this throughout my life, and I think all the consultants, Mr. Ramsamy was talking about, Dr. Ramsamy was talking about all the consultants echoing with the same voice, and the only heartbeat he could hear was that of Dr. Badrinath. I, as a patient and as an officer, I've always seen that about this institution, and I think that's what keeps it alive. I don't want to speak too long. As I said, the speakers before me have said it all. I want to once again offer my personal condolences, not only to his family, but to the wide family of Shankar Netralaya, every one of you, as well as somebody said, to the family that he has treated to the people whose life he's touched. I have no doubt that the call he made out in that last message he gave, saying that his wonderful life should inspire so many young doctors, so many young people, and many youngsters to work for, to leave behind what they have and so work for the future of India. Thank you once again.
Due to some technical glitch, Dr. G.N. Rao's video cannot be played. We have Dr. Rajiv Papru, Vice Chairman. LVPEI will read the message of Dr. G.N. Rao.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to pay tribute to a great leader who worked hard with dedication and passion to help people as a single purpose of his life. And he has inspired so many young people and ophthalmologists from across the world. In 1970, when he came back to India, he visited our India Institute of Medical Science. There was one young ophthalmologist called Dr. G.N. Rao who got inspired by him, and when he was returning back from US to start an organization in Hyderabad, Dr. Badrinath has helped him immensely to open the doors of Shankara Nethralaya to give the information and give help to form an organization which with the same purpose of what Shankara Nethralaya stands right now. And we all are from LVPI family with Dr. Badrinath's purpose of helping people wherever we are. And that's what we all stands for. We pay a tribute to everyone and a tribute to Dr. Badrinath for helping us. Thank you.
Mr. Radhakrishnan, former DGP, will say a few words about our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Good morning. I stand before you to read out a message from my father-in-law, Dr. K. Parthasarathi at Pudukkottai, who was a classmate and roommate of Dr. Badrinath in Madras Medical College and also a great lifetime friend. Quote, he was a disciplined student and a very trustworthy friend. He was always helpful to others. He possessed great leadership qualities even in those green salad days. He became the General Secretary of the Madras Medical College by winning against the rich and influential opponent who was the son of the Chief Secretary of the day. In the election process, Badri was assaulted by his opponent, but he didn't want to hit him back. He could have done that. Instead, he went to the dean and got an unconditional apology from the Chief Secretary's son. That was his grit and determination in life. He was my partner in carom match, but unfortunately, we lost in the finals, but he took it in the right spirit. He became an all-time great after his higher studies abroad. He became a legend among legends after getting training under Dr. Stephens in vitreoretinal surgery. He returned to India to serve his countrymen. He was one among the few who could do this surgery in those days. He was an epitome of sympathy towards his patients. He always gave primacy to merit. Only on this score, he could build a great hospital of national and international importance on this earth. I miss a man of integrity and true friendship, unquote. In my personal capacity, I knew Dr. Badrinath since my marriage in 1986. Many times we have met and discussed many issues on this earth. Shankara Nethralaya is the mecca of treatment, eye treatment in India. By establishing such a world-class facility, he built his name and fame alongside. The famous Sangam literature, Purananuru, talks about his class of great men in the following lines. Manna ulagathu மன்னுதல் குறித்தோர் தம் புகழ் நிறுவி தாம் மாய்ந்தனரே. Meaning, to live permanently on this impermanent world, great people established their fame and then disappeared. The great sage Thiruvalluvar says, வையத்துள் வாழ்வாங்கு வாழ்பவன் வானுரையும் தெய்வத்துள் வைக்கப்படும். Those who lead a great and virtuous life on this earth will be seated alongside the gods in the heaven. In the exalted words of Thiruvalluvar, Dr. Badrinath is living in the midst of gods in the heaven. What is the job of the gods? The job of gods is to bless us, be the human beings. Right now, Dr. Badrinath is blessing us all sitting in the heaven. His name and fame shall live forever. Thank you very much.
It was a deep sense of anguish and pain that all of us had as the news of passing of Dr. S.S. Badrinath started coming in from the early hours of Tuesday. I could not help recalling the 5 decades of my association with Dr. Badrinath in building the vitreoretinal capabilities and skills of ophthalmologists in India, as well as raising the standards of our both institutions. Dr. S.S. Badrinath was a visionary and is one of the legendary leader ophthalmologists who have elevated Indian eye care to global standards. He gave vision to millions, both in a literal and figurative sense. He facilitated ethical, modern, and cost-effective eye care with quality, where both the rich and the downtrodden got access to the eye care. Beyond building a sustainable eye care organization, he also had facilitated pioneering research in many of the eye diseases relevant in India, particularly diabetic retinopathy. Both our institutions, along with the UK, are continuing research in diabetic retinopathy. He also took initiative in academic front and has also started training optometrists, ophthalmologists, and hundreds and thousands of them have been trained who continue to carry forward his priceless gift of vision to the millions in India and abroad. Both of us are privileged to belong to the same alma mater, Dr. Skippens Retina Foundation, and have been trained by our legendary retina specialist, teacher, Dr. Charles Skippens. Both of us also kept our promise to Dr. Skippens to return to India after our training in vitreoretinal diseases, and together we have been able to train hundreds of retina specialists in the past 4 decades, now spread across the country. At this juncture of profound emotions, my heart goes out to the family of Dr. S.S. Badrinath, particularly Dr. Vasanthi Badrinath, and more importantly to the staff of Shankar Nethralaya, who were his extended family. I am sure that all of them to reaffirm their faith in the ideals held by Dr. SSB and continue to contribute to his legacy to humanity. It's indeed extremely difficult to replicate what he has achieved in lifetime. But the best tribute is to follow the teachings and ideals and thus celebrate a life that was well lived.
It is very unfortunate that we have lost a great soul, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. It's a great loss to the ophthalmic community, to the ophthalmic world, and to our nation that we have lost such a great ophthalmologist, a very compassionate soul. It is a compassion he had for the fellow human beings, and the discipline and the perfection he brought into the patient care has made what Shankar Nethralaya, today a very well-known, world-renowned eye care organization. He has built Shankar Nethralaya as an ethics-based organization, as a value-based organization, making sure that the care is accessible and affordable to the people. He is also a great teacher because of his values of sharing and generosity. He shared what he knew. He developed a large number of doctors into very energetic, skilled ophthalmologists who are delivering good eye care across the world. As a true professional, he has also built the next generation of ophthalmologists as Shankar Nethralaya, who have taken up the leadership positions and have been growing the organization with the same values and the culture with which he has founded the organization, taking the organization to the greater heights. We at Aravind share the same values of Shankar Nethralaya, the organization founded by Dr. S.S. Badrinath. And our leaders were fortunate to have worked with them in shaping some of the policies at the national level, working with the Government of India with the National Program of Control of Blindness to ensure that we have policies, processes across the country to have good quality eye care available to all the people of India. We all pray to the God Almighty for his soul to rest in peace, and also we pray for the continued growth of Shankar Nethralaya in the coming years. I thank the leaders of Shankar Nethralaya for the opportunity to share with all of you at this moment of mourning. Thank you.
Mr. V.V. Ranganathan, entrepreneur and author of the famous book, Insight Book, will share with us the experiences and interactions with Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Thank you. We gather today to pay homage to an incomparable man, a proud son of India whose reach spanned the globe and whose extraordinary life and legacy is an enduring gift to humanity. It is with a deep sense of sorrow that we have come here today to condole the passing away of Dr. S.S. Badrinath, a very dear friend and a towering personality in the world of compassionate medicine. He has left us, leaving behind him a huge legacy of enviable qualities and a rock-like resolve. My interactions with him for over 2 decades has been both intimate and intense. When I was engaged in writing the 348 pages book on Shankar Nethralaya, almost a period of, say, a good 1 year, I found him to be very subtle but resolutely firm. Very rarely you find a human being with a perfect balance of a great set of skills, extraordinary zeal, phenomenal will, a genuine passion for compassion, an iron determination to get things done, and an uncompromising set of values, all rolled up in one fine art of leadership where he involved everyone, literally from the lowest to the highest team members. And above all, he diffused these attributes to his entire workforce, creating a contagious atmosphere. I've had the opportunities to go with him to various important meetings, be it with generous donors or with these central government agencies, and he was always very well received and respected, all for the gracefulness with which he conducted the most difficult moments. His readiness to appreciate good qualities in others and at the same time cultivating a generous outlook has perhaps brought in the absence of rivalry amongst fellow professionals. A tireless and tenacious champion of the downtrodden who fought avoidable blindness with a missionary zeal
He never gave up fighting, never wavered, despite fierce opposition and challenges. He always stood his ground for what was right, and he demanded that same commitment and resolve from everyone around him too. That determination continues to inspire all of us at Shankara Nethralaya. His light may have left this world, however, the torch he lit burns ever bright. I pay my respectful homage to the departed soul. May his beautiful soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.
It is my great honor to say something about Dr. S.S. Badrinath, who has been the leading force behind the modern ophthalmic care in this country, not only for patients' care, for teaching, research, and putting the India in a world map. I feel privileged to say something not only for Dr. S.S. Badrinath, for the institution he created, which has given the manpower who were highly trained in specific areas, who had mentored many such students who have become teachers themselves. Indeed, Shankara Nethralaya is a synonymous to the country's pride of ophthalmic care. It is true that in our country, whatever we do doesn't disseminate to every corner of this huge country. But his dedication, his philanthropic work, his teaching, his way of giving to a society has touched every life, not only for a patient who have come for a vision correction, for students, for people who have been in his contact. They have all learned the ethical values, the moral values to the society which we have created, so that our country goes in a way where people appreciate the culture of our country. If I look back the entire journey of India after post-independence, there has been a very few institutions which can be named as the establishment which can be the pride of the country. Shankara Nethralaya, created by legendary Dr. S.S. Badrinath, can be placed in that category of pride of this country to establish such an institution which is known not only in this country, across the world. From myself, from the RPC family, we pay all deep regards to legendary Dr. S.S. Badrinath and the entire SN family. I am very sure that his teachings will go a long way for our generation to come and learn things in a better way. Thank you.
Dr. Bala Ramchandran, Head of Department PICU, Kanchi Kamakoti Child's Trust Hospital, is here with us today to say a few words about our founder.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I'm here representing another charitable institution, Kanchi Kamakoti Child's Trust Hospital. Our association with Dr. Badrinath and Shankara Nethralaya goes back about 40 years. Both institutions were founded in 1978. And in addition to that, the Asthana anesthetist for Dr. M.S. Ramakrishnan, the founder of Child's Trust Hospital, Dr. V.G. Appukutty, was also the Asthana anesthetist for Dr. Badrinath. Since the beginning, both institutions have worked together on issues dealing with children with respect to, let's say, anesthesia or retinopathy or prematurity, etc. And we continue to do so even now. My first interaction with Dr. Badrinath was about maybe 15 or 18 years ago when Shankara Nethralaya sought my assistance in some issues relating to children's surgeries, and subsequently we worked with them to help improve things. But I want to relate more personal incident. Maybe about 10, 12 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night with severe irritation of the eye, and I thought something had gone into my eye. So I drove myself to Shankara Nethralaya, which is very close to where I live, went to the emergency room there, I did not tell anybody I'm a doctor, I'm an ICU specialist, etc., etc. But the system took care of me, and the junior doctor came, he examined me perfectly, took me through the steps, and all of this was done very rapidly. And at the end, I paid the bill, which is a very nominal amount. And subsequently, when somebody asked me, why didn't you tell him that you're a doctor, etc., I said, why should I? The system is there, the system takes care of you. And subsequently, even now, when people tell me, நான் சங்கர் நேத்ராலயா போகணும் கொஞ்சம் அங்கே பார்த்துக்க சொல்லு நன்னா பார்த்துக்க சொல்லு அப்படின்னா நீ சங்கர் நேத்ராலயா போகணுன்னா ஒன்றுமே பண்ண வேண்டாம் அங்கே there is a system in place there, the system will take care of you. And that is what Dr. Badrinath has built up. And that is something which will be there forever. We are here to remember Dr. Badrinath, to mourn him. It's a condolence meeting, but it is really a celebration. His legacy remains with us, and he will be there forever in every brick of Sankara Nethralaya. So this institution will go on, and we will all remember Dr. Badrinath for what he has built up. Thank you very much.
First of all, please accept my deepest condolences on behalf of the whole Ratna Foundation family for this tremendous loss. Dr. Badrinath had a profound impact on all things Ratna, and we have always looked up to him with great respect as one of the pioneers of vitreoretinal surgery in India and a great mentor indeed. My father, Dr. P.N. Nagpal, was fortunate enough to have known him in an era when retinal surgeries were being introduced in our country. He was deeply disturbed by the knowledge of his passing away, and following are his words. I am deeply saddened to hear about the loss of Dr. Badrinath. I have known him since 1974 when he visited us at the MNJ Institute. At that time, we were doing the inverted table technique for giant retinal tears. That was the era when retinal surgeries were at its infancy, and Dr. Badri played the most important role in its development and progress in India through Shankar Nethralaya in Chennai. The amount and body of work that Dr. Badrinath has contributed for retina fraternity in our country is extensive and unparalleled in the country. His passing away is indeed a huge loss to our fraternity, but I am very proud to see the legacy that he leaves behind. May he rest in power.
Mr. S. Chandrasekhar, formerly with L&T and Tata Telecommunications, is here with us to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Dear friends, you have heard so many things about Dr. Badri. I was with him from his school days. There are many instances. I want to just illustrate two instances very briefly. One was nearly 15 years back. The other was just 5 months back. What happened 15 years back was in a function which was organized by Shankar Nethralaya in the beach sand of Fisherman's Cove. After about, say, half an hour after the function started, a very old lady was sitting. For some reason, she wanted to get up. Several times she tried to do that. Ultimately, she got up, but her slipper started slipping. And it happened, and she sat back, and it happened once or twice. Next time when she stood, she took the slipper from her foot and started walking. Suddenly came a gentleman running, and it was Dr. Badri. And he took the slippers from this old lady and escorted her up to the lobby, made her sit, and asked for the tissue paper from the lobby, cleaned her feet and also the chappals, because the chappal had sands. And this is what Badri. What an accuracy. What a perfection. The perfection and accuracy are two things which was illustrated in this. Second thing is there are so many people who came and wanted to help him, but he said no. That means he had the leadership, he led by his own example. He led by his own example. That is the illustration which I am going to give, which happened about 5 months back. This happened in a place which is about 15 kilometers from Anantapur in the month of April. You can understand what is the temperature would have been in Anantapur in April. Nearly 20 people from Shankaranethalaya camped there. Many of them are paramedicals and doctors for almost 15 days and covered 100 villages, 100 villages. And from there, people came and got themselves operated and scanned and treated. After a while, it lasted for nearly 15 days, I mentioned. They left, and again another visit of Shankaranethalaya people came and examined. Third time, for some of them, specs were given by Shankaranethalaya free of cost. Everything on this for 100 villages was done free of cost. Nothing was taken. And I had the privilege to coordinate, but what happened after that is something which need to be narrated. I went there after this happened and specs were given, and an old lady suddenly took my hands. She must be 85 or maybe more. From her eyes, tears were rolling. I didn't understand Telugu because I was not conversant with Telugu. I said, what is this? And she started talking in Telugu, and I'll only narrate what she was telling. She said, "Sir, I got my eyes. Sir, I got my specs. Sir, I put a baby on my lap, and I could see that baby, sir, and that is my great-granddaughter. And, sir, I am very grateful for something which has been given to me, the eyesight, to see my granddaughter," and she wept. And every tears of that lady was a tribute to doctor. These two instances will really give you an example what Badri is. He is a perfectionist, and not only a perfectionist, he had a third eye here. Whenever it is needed, he will open that eye and see that it comes out very sternly and see that things happen properly. He is a humble person, at the same time is a strict disciplinarian. I'll end up by saying that these two instances are what he is. He never carried in his mind anything except the eyes. He forgot one thing, the alphabet I. Thank you.
Dear friends and colleagues, I, Dr. Harbans Lal, President of All India Optometrical Society, will like to pay homage to great Dr. Badrinath sir on all the members of the IUS. India is lucky that such a noble soul took birth on its soil, and we eye surgeons are blessed to have seen and being touched by such a legendary figure. Such was the personality of this great man and the institution he created. Any eye surgeon who visited at Shankaranethalaya became pure gold, irrespective of his training and skills before joining the Shankar Netralaya. And now these eye surgeons are serving the length and breadth of the country. Without these eye surgeons, the millions of the retinal patients would not have got the care and expertise they deserve. And the research and publication at the SN has set a new bar for all of us to emulate. And their research and publication had made India and Indian ophthalmologists proud. Our Honorable Prime Minister has already paid this tribute to great Dr. Badrinath. And the real tribute to such a man would be if we follow the path shown by him and fulfill his dream and vision of blindness-free India. He is Padma Awardee, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, but for all of us, actually is Bharat Ratna. My salutation to the great soul. Om Shanti.
Dr. Tarun Sharma has come all the way from Columbia, New York, to be with us on this day. He was formerly the Director of Vitreoretinal Services, Shankar Netralaya.
Dear friends, kindly accept my respectful pranam, namaskaram, and of course, humble salutations to all of you who are here in person and virtually. There's one beautiful emotion we all have experienced in our lives, and I call that emotion as an immersive experience. What exactly is that? Let me give you an example. Whenever we plan to visit a temple or a holy place, we all have a wish list, a bucket list of things we wish to pray for. Of course, the list varies based on your age. It could be educational achievement, it could be professional progress, and it could be well-being of your children or even your own health. But what happens when you reach temple, when you inside the temple, when you are in front of the deity, you look at him, you stare at him, and you lose everything. You forget yourself. You forget who you are. You forget your wish list. You get lost. You get lost of the surrounding and consciousness where you are. This is an absorbing experience. This is what I call as an immersive experience. In a similar way, similar of that sort, when the employees of Shankar Netralaya enters their workplace, enters the temple of the eye, temple which is known as an alaya, Netralaya, the temple of the eye which Dr. Badrinath ji created, all the employees get immersed into that immersive experience of dedication, immersive experience of love, immersive experience of sincerity, the very core values on which Netralaya stands, the very core values which binds all of us, the Netralaya family, the very core values which Netralaya alumni take with them, plant them, practice those values, preach those values in different parts of the world, indeed has a cascading effect, a rippling effect. This is what makes Dr. Badrinath ji, SSB, a very happy, a very jubilant, very emotion, exactly real santosham. And what you see really on this photograph. So we are here today to celebrate the legacy of Dr. Badrinath ji, who has founded this, can I move the slide, please? Who has founded this Shankar Netralaya, and as many previous speakers said, he himself was an institution, and this statement was narrated by n number of times, numerous occasions by Shri Vaidyanathan, who along with Mr. V. Mohan Rao supported Dr. Badrinath ji unconditionally in the formative years of Shankar Netralaya. I'm sure still people ask me, I'm sure people ask you, and the future generation, what exactly and who was he, Dr. Badrinath? And we answer that question in a variety of ways. I think it was an excellent teacher. Oh, I see. Was a great clinician? Yes. Now, he was a great scientist. I see. I think he contributed a lot to the research in ophthalmology. Yes, he was a great administrator. He knew how to run an organization, not only just to build it. He wanted to start a project without any money in him. He was a great fundraiser. Of course, a great institution builder. Not only one institution, he built several institutions across the country and helped many other institutions to come in a similar ways, following the ethos of Shankar Netralaya. Yes, we all experienced that. He was a hard taskmaster. He knew what he's asking for. He will follow it and make sure you do it, and he will be with you all the time. He was a great super team leader. He makes sure Netralaya philosophy, his work, his skills, his community commitment continues to grow, continues to be followed year after year. Yes, you are right. He was everything. He was all in all. He was all in all. But what is not mentioned in these slides, he was a heart molder. He had the power to enter your heart, touch that heart, change that heart, and transform you and all of us into a caring individual with a very compassionate heart. That was Dr. Badrinath ji, who could mold people to serve the country, to serve the cause of humanity, a heart molder, a compassionate heart. And I can vouch for all the residents, fellows, I can speak for them, who came from different parts of the world, country to learn ophthalmology, but they also learn lessons of life, pearls of wisdom, and try to perpetuate, replicate those human values, those human qualities which they learn during their training period while working with Dr. Badrinath ji and his dedicated team of professionals. It is also said the present and the future are very closely linked. The current leadership, Dr. Surendran ji, Dr. Grish Rao, Dr. Roni George, Dr. Bhaskaran, Dr. Premaji, Dr. Gopal, Pramod Binde, so many of them. so many of them, with the support from the society, from the support from philanthropists, and dedicated team of professionals, Shankar Nethralaya will continue to grow in leaps and bounds. And Dr. Badrinath will continue to bless us, continue to shower his choicest blessings to all of us. And I'm very sure about it. And I'm thankful to you, to all of you, and once for my humble pranams to all of you. Thank you so much.
Passing away of Dr. Badrinath has cast a shadow, sorrow and gloom over a vast community of his students, trainees, friends and admirers globally. The history of Indian ophthalmology is forever marked by the era before and after Badrinath. More than 50 years since establishing the Shankar Nethralaya in Chennai, he single-handedly elevated the standard of eye care in India from a third world practice to the cutting edge that has been appreciated and admired even by the first world nations. Dr. Badrinath's influence was transformative and left an indelible mark on everyone fortunate enough to cross paths with him, no matter how fleeting the encounter. He was a visionary teacher, an institution in himself, and practically every eye surgeon in India has been touched by his inspiring guidance. The profound legacy he leaves behind will continue to resonate and inspire countless eye surgeons worldwide. My deepest condolences to his immediate family and the SN fraternity. May Dr. Badrinath rest in peace. Thank you.
Dr. Mohan Rajan, Chairman and Medical Director, Rajan Eye Care, will say a few words about our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Thank you, sir. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am representing all the alumni of Shankar Nethralaya who are spread across the world. There are more than 2,500 alumni who are trained, who have got the same philosophy as Shankar Nethralaya. For us, Shankar Nethralaya alumni, the Shankar Nethralaya is the temple and chief the god. All of us have gone to Venkatachalapati temple, Tirupati. If you have gone there, you know exactly, if you go very near the Lord Venkatachalapati, there is a magnetic pull towards the Lord. Similarly, whenever we go into chief's cabin and see him and meet him, there is a magnetic pull which is there. This is the divine blessing which chief has got, the supernatural power, I would say. I experienced that even a few months back when I visited him. I visit him regularly in his house. Even in the last journey when I was in the van on Tuesday to Besant Nagar crematorium, I could see the pull. I was sitting on the head end of my Talaivar chief. And you could see the magnetic pull there. Such is the impact he has created. As Tarun rightly said, it is an impact which he has created, which will go into your heart and create and transform you. That is the beauty and that is the power of our chief. You can call him a superstar, you can call him the supreme power, you can call him Tala, Talaiva, the Godfather, a phenomenon. It's all in all, as Tarun rightly said, none other than Dr. Badrinath, our chief. He is an embodiment of passion, hard work, commitment, dedication. And whenever, because I have seen him in different perspectives as a postgraduate student, as a VR fellow, we never used to see sunrise and sunset. And used to say that if you don't have hard work and passion, you cannot be successful in life. And that is what I think is the message for all of us here. As Shankar Netra alumni, we are practicing the same philosophy as Shankar Netralaya. And we are all blessed as Shankar Netralaya alumni to be living in the same era as Chief, and also not only living but also being trained under him and his world-class institute. For me, Chief is the acronym for compassion, commitment, and competency. H for hard work, humility, and humane. I for inspiration, innovative, and industrious. E for ethical. All the SN alumni across the world, they practice only ethical practice, which is very important in current practice today. Empathetic and enterprising, and F for focused, far-sighted, and firm. To sum it up, it was Chief who was unequivocally respected and loved for the loving. Our hospital, Rajan Eye Care, was inaugurated by my two eyes, Dr. Mrs. YGP, my guru, and also by Chief in 1995. And the Golden Hands, it's not only my hospital, but also across alumni. I see many alumni, Dr. Vinay Nangia, K.S. Kumar, Cyrus Shroff, Mahesh Shanmugam, so many other alumni. We are all doing well because of the divine blessings of Dr. Badrinath. Let us all celebrate his life because he has been a game changer and trendsetter. We need to celebrate his life. As Swami Vivekananda said, those who live are living, those who are living for others, the others are more dead than alive. So Dr. Badrinath is a person who has lived for others, who has given a commitment to the entire society. And I think he is living with us. We should celebrate his life. As SN alumni, we have our dedication. And the important take-home message I want to give everybody is that leave a legacy. Leave a legacy, and that is what Dr. Badrinath, our Chief, has done. The legacy in the form of the fantastic team is much more powerful than the Indian cricket team, I would say. Dr. TSS, Dr. GSR, Dr. PP, Dr. LG, Dr. LV, Pramod Bende, JB, and so many other people, all my teachers, all my colleagues there in Shankar Netralaya. I think we should all give a big round of applause for the entire team who has taken the Shankar Netralaya to different heights, and it is because it is a system which is there in place, which has been set by our Chief and Guru and mentor, Dr. Badrinath, who will live forever in our hearts. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity.
Good morning. The ophthalmic world woke up to a shock on 23rd November 2023 to learn the passing away of Dr. S.S. Badrinath. Dr. Badrinath shaped the Indian ophthalmology for more than half a century and has left an indelible mark in the field of ophthalmology and medicine in our country. The Vitreoretinal Society of India deeply mourns the passing away of this giant. While the void left by Dr. Badrinath can never be filled, the colossal and the enormous amount of work that he did in the form of building the institutions, training the students, and setting up research institutes and the community ophthalmology work that he started will continue to bring cheers to millions around the world. Such souls are born for a purpose and return to the eternal home of the Almighty once the purpose is served. The members of Vitreoretinal Society offer sincere, heartfelt condolences to the immediate family of Dr. Badrinath and also to the larger family of the staff of Shankar Netralaya, the students, well-wishers and admirers of Dr. Badrinath. We pray for peace to the departed soul and Om Shanti. Thank you.
Mr. Isaac Nazar, past District Governor, Rotary Club, is here to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for inviting Rotary International District 3232 for this homage meeting to share our thoughts with the organization we worked, Shankar Netralaya, and the outstanding man, Dr. S.S. Badrinath, we have been working. As you all know, Rotary District 3232 is in Chennai and is a part of a global community of leaders. And we have been working with the hospitals in healthcare, education for schools and colleges and institutions, and many such community service programs. And in this part of the world, particularly in Chennai, Rotary District and Rotary Clubs, which are doing innumerable number of services, have been working with Shankar Netralaya for the past 30 years. Starting from 1991, when Shankar Netralaya wanted to conduct eye camps all through the district, it was Rotary which came forward and shouldered that responsibility, and that's how the relationship with Shankar Netralaya and Dr. Badrinath started. Ever since we partnered with Shankar Netralaya on these eye care projects, Rotary has been year on year assisting Shankar Netralaya with lot of equipments, a mobile eye care unit, and many such research activities Rotary has continuously funded and supported Shankar Netralaya. Dr. S.S. Badrinath was part of Rotary movement. He was a Rotarian, and later he was inducted as an honorary Rotarian of a Rotary Club. Though Rotary works in all walks of life with various government and non-governmental organizations in improving the society and lending a hand to the institutions like Shankar Netralaya when they do the service to the society. In Chennai particularly, Rotary has been working very closely with huge sums of money, supporting institutions like Shankar Netralaya, Voluntary Health Services, Adayar Cancer Institute, or Mambalam Public Health Center, and such institutions are very special to us, and Rotary has been working very closely, not only to provide equipments and support to government hospitals and institutions, government educational, and also for organizations like Shankar Netralaya. For me personally, I have met, seen, read Dr. S.S. Badrinath very closely, more as an inspirational personality than as a doctor. I've always admired the way, I have read the way he has founded Shankar Netralaya, how the seed was sown, and later how it got into a blossom, into not a single institution and a multiple institutions serving the society. And currently, Rotary has been working for 30 years, and currently one of our major projects to provide eye care facility to all people who can afford and who cannot afford in the name of Orange Project, Orange Healthcare Eye Care Projects. Recently, one of our leaders, Puttu Palniyappan, has been in touch with Shankar Netralaya to establish Orange Vision Care Centers, around 20 centers in and around Chennai, so that even the people who cannot afford to come to hospital, they can go to such centers get themselves checked and then come to Shankar Nethralaya in case of their requirement. And Dr. S.S. Badrinath has been very supportive of this project, and Rotary has been working very closely with Dr. S.S. Badrinath in various aspects, in various projects, and in various dimensions. And Shankar Nethralaya has been a part of Rotary service activities, and I am here to convey our condolences on behalf of all Rotarians of Rotary District 3232 and all beneficiaries who have got eye care services through Shankar Nethralaya and Dr. S.S. Badrinath, through the advocacy of Rotary International. I want to thank Shankar Nethralaya and also our prayers for the soul of the great man, Dr. S.S. Badrinath, to rest in peace. Thank you.
Dear Dr. Girish Rao and members of Shankara Nethralaya family, greetings from Dr. Chandrasekhar Shetty, Bangalore. My heartfelt condolences on the sad demise of most respected and legendary Dr. S.S. Badrinath, the founder of Shankara Nethralaya, Chennai. On this solemn and sacred occasion, I would like to pay my respects, homage, and tributes to the departed soul of Dr. Badrinath. I pray the Almighty to bestow upon strength to Dr. Vasanti and family to bear this irreversible loss with courage and fortitude. Dr. Badrinath was an extraordinary human being with exemplary qualities of simplicity, humility, self-esteem, self-realization, and enlightenment. He was an inspirational, motivational, and a transformative leader who led from the front. He was not an individual, but an institution by himself. He built a monumental Shankara Nethralaya of national importance and international repute. He was a role model to thousands of ophthalmologists in India and world over. Personally, he was a well-wisher, guide.
We have with us Colonel Dr. Ganesh, Military Hospital, Chennai, to say a few words about Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
Good morning. I stand here today on behalf of Military Hospital, Chennai, and the Armed Forces to pay tribute to the great man. Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri Dr. S.S. Badrinath was a true visionary and an exceptional and dedicated ophthalmologist. Shankar Nethralaya was his life and passion, and the institute provided high-quality yet affordable ophthalmic care to the community. No praise can be too high for his zeal and commitment to provide excellent care to the underprivileged and needy population. The affection and regard he had for the armed forces was legendary. Ever ready to help anyone from the military, and so many have benefited from his care and Shankar Nethralaya. Patients with ocular trauma during the IPKF operations, Kargil War, and other counterinsurgency operations have been treated at Shankar Nethralaya with excellent outcomes and without charges. He had been appointed the honorary consultant to the armed forces and was a special invitee to the Armed Forces Research Committee sessions. He has trained service ophthalmologists, and Chief has and will always be a role model to them. The residents from the Armed Forces Medical College, Pune, had the privilege of short-term observership at Shankar Nethralaya during the second year of post-graduation, which was of immense benefit to them. He was magnanimous in donating an argon laser to the eye department at MH Chennai in 2004. The rigorous and meticulous academic curriculum followed at Shankar Nethralaya, as well as the missionary spirit, has deeply influenced the army ophthalmologists. For the serving personnel and their dependents, Dr. Badrinath and Shankar Nethralaya was the last word. We will always be indebted to him. A compassionate and caring person, an exemplary ophthalmologist, and a true karma yogi, he He was and will continue to be an inspiration for everyone. May his soul attain Sadgati, reserved only for the most exalted of all human beings. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Today is a very sad day. We have lost an iconic clinician, Dr. Badrinath. Today, if Chennai is famous, at least for one thing, that's eye care. Because of him, it's sad that in his last few days, he was not well. Of course, he was great. To create an institution of greatness is a sign of a great person. Today the institute is known in India, outside India, as the center of excellence for eye care. He has nurtured so many brilliant ophthalmologists, and we are all benefiting from it. It's sad that he passed away, but then we must pay our tribute to the person who was so brilliant and so humble and so good at his work. Not only is good at his work, he created goodness for all public. He has nurtured a legion of ophthalmologists who are working all over India and have left their mark there. I offer my humble condolences to Mrs. Badrinath and his family. God bless you all.
We have with us Dr. Vineet Ratra, Senior Consultant, Shankar Nethralaya, to say a few words.
No words we say are enough to describe our chief. You've heard so many small anecdotes which all of us have gone through. I was lucky when I joined here as a PG sometime in 1996 and had a couple of postings with him. I don't know if Raji is here, but she'll remember that the second posting, she came in, she told that there's a medical retina posting, can you do it with chief? I jumped at it. It was such a wonderful learning experience, and at the end of the posting, chief told me that he had a great time, and I said, sir, I had an even better time than that. The biggest acknowledgement and pat that one of us would always get was when chief would write after we did our drawings and management, agree with all findings and management. I'm sure all of us as PGs and fellows would wait for that pat on the back which chief would give. He chose my wife Dhanashree and me to start the Shankar Nethralaya at Calcutta. This was just when we were 1 year into consultancy. He believed in the youth. His teachings were both in person and in emails, and he guided us throughout this journey which we had started. For every new project, as Colonel Raghavan will also agree with me, he used to call us. He would recognize our strength and commitment to essence, processes, and philosophy, be it one which we were to start at Mauritius or one in Thane, for which he specially called us back from China. He taught us the importance of love and compassion towards our patients. I remember he taught me a very important lesson when a young person with a poor prognosis came to his OPD. He pulled the chair up, sat in front of the patient, made eye contact, and told him, I'm really sorry, but unfortunately, there is nothing we can do for your vision. The patient and his mother sobbed uncontrollably. Chief had taught a very important lesson, the lesson on empathy and compassion. He was a very strict disciplinarian, and he molded us into professionals of unwavering integrity and strong ethical foundations. He used to often come and tell me that you speak to me so freely, you're not scared of me. And I told him, I've done nothing wrong, sir, to be scared of you. When we joined back from China, after our stay in China for a year, we had a beautiful personal note in our joining letters, which he personally handed over to us. He was a connoisseur of good vegetarian food, especially Thai food. His bondas were legendary, and he also loved cookies. We had many good meals with him and Madam. He was the one who actually introduced us to fried ice cream. Every brick of Shankar Nethralaya resonates with Chief. His influence will forever echo in the corridor of our heart. Here I speak not only for myself, but for each and every student of his, be it PGs, fellows, nursing, ONA, everybody there. Our sincere and heartfelt condolences to Madam Dr. Vasanti, his pillar of strength, Anand, Sheshu and his family, and all his near and dear ones. A special mention also to Mr. Sarvanan, Mr. Padmanabhan, Mr. Sarkar, Mr. Palasi, and Mr. Mithun, and numerous others who untiringly took care of our Chief. Chief's blessings will always be there for Shankar Nethralaya, and he will continue to guide this great institute. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
The passing away of Dayan, the visionary, Lion Dr. S.S. Badrinath, has created a great void as far as the Lions are concerned, apart from the millions of patients and others who come to Shankar Nethralaya. Our coordination with Shankar Nethralaya started about 25 years back, and we have been able to have so many projects, some of them funded by NCIF, and some of them by donations, and some of them by Shankar Nethralaya taking all the efforts to see that the projects are carried out extremely well. We would like to place on record a deep sense of gratitude and also our sense of sadness and grief on this day for the passing away of one of the remarkable persons, remarkable human beings we have had the pleasure and privilege to work with. We have lost our mentor, MJF, Lion Dr. Badrinath, Ambassador Goodwill Awardee, and Lions Club of Central Madras is an inconsolable grief and sadness on this occasion. Let us pray for the departed noble soul to rest in everlasting peace.
Dr. Mahesh Shanmugam, Chairman, Scientific Committee, VRSI, will say a few words.
Morning. I am here on a personal note as well. Let me start on the personal note. I am chief student, and my life has been guided by the life lessons he imparted. Lessons he imparted by living them. He taught us to never belie the trust placed in you and to do everything in one's capacity to stand by that trust, stand up to the trust. He taught us to take responsibility for our own actions. He respected everyone, irrespective of their economical, educational, or social status, and taught us to do so as well. He taught us to be humble. He taught us to respect others' time by being punctual. He taught us that place of work is place of worship, and to work without being confined by barriers of time or remuneration. He lived a morally upright life and taught us to do so as well. He also showed us that one need not be super intelligent to be successful. A lot of hard work and a mentor to show a way is adequate. He taught us to be compassionate. In short, he taught us how to live. Thank you, sir, for showing us how to live. I'm also here to convey the heartfelt condolences from the members of the Veteran Society of India, which is largely made up of chief students, and also from Shankaraya Hospital and its founder, Dr. R.V. Ramani. Heartfelt condolences to respectful Madam, Sheshu, Anand, and members of SN family, and to all of us gathered here who have been touched by him in one way or the other. But then the appropriate way of paying homage to Sir is by living life the way Chief taught us to be, and we will miss him though dearly. Thank you.
I am Colonel R.P. Gupta, ex-professor and head of Department of Ophthalmology, Armed Forces, Medical College, Pune. I am deeply saddened to know that father of modern Indian ophthalmology and Padma Bhushan Padma Shri, Dr. S.S. Badrinath is no more. Dr. Badrinath has rendered highly dedicated services to the armed forces. During IPK Sri Lanka operations, I was ophthalmologist at Military Hospital Madras and Sri Lanka. Those cases which I was not able to operate, I used to take to Dr. Badrinath sir in Shankar Netralaya, and he has operated more than 40 badly traumatized eye. During Kargil war also, the cases which were not treatable by army were transferred to Shankar Netralaya, and they were operated by Dr. Badrinath sir. Dr. Badrinath sir is honorary consultant to armed forces and has been treating all the cases which are referred through army. Dr. Badrinath sir has trained many ophthalmologists in Shankar Netralaya. I was also trained in vitreoretinal surgery in 1989-90. Our training was really marvelous and tough. Dr. Badrinath sir has provided extraordinary services to armed forces during war and peace. We salute to this son of Mother India. The best way to pay homage to this great luminary is to follow the principles laid down by him. Jai Hind.
Dr. Paritosh Kamdar, SN alumni, BR fellow from Mumbai, is here to say a few words.
Thank you, TSS sir and Dr. Girish Rao for this opportunity. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. When a part of perfection comes out from the infinite, like what Chief was, to shepherd all of us, his students, his fellows, towards perfection, not only in eye care, but in service of humanity. The infinite perfection doesn't lose anything, and when this chunk of perfection goes back to the infinite, it remains whole. To all of us, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Salutations to such a Guru who not only taught us ophthalmology, but how to lead our lives, how to live life, how to interact with others. So I just pray to the Almighty that through the deeds of this embodiment, I become worthy at least of the sand of his feet. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. You live forever amongst all of us. Thank you very much.
Shanti. Dear SN colleagues and friends, as we pay homage to our dear Chief Dr. Badrinath, recall the Quran by the Tamil sage Thiruvalluvar. அன்பிலார் எல்லாம் நமக்குரியர் அன்புடையார் என்பும் உரியர் பிறர்க்கு. Meaning, அன்பு இல்லாதவர் எல்லா பொருளும் தமதென்று கொண்டாடுவர். அன்பு உளரோ மெய் பொருள் ஆவி அனைத்தையும் மற்றவர்க்கென்றே அர்ப்பணிப்பவர். In my opinion, Dr. Badrinath personified this Quran by his selfless life, by his limitless compassion for the underprivileged, and by his relentless pursuit of excellence in ophthalmic care. Both by example and leadership, he made SN brand synonymous with top quality eye care delivered with humility. In addition, he played a stellar role in capacity building in the country by setting up the first school of optometry as well as training many renowned ophthalmologists. Ever embracing latest technology, he pioneered the concept, development, and successful operation of mobile surgical units. Such visionaries and leaders who execute to perfection are very rare to come by. His life will always remain an inspiration to all of us. While his mortal remains may have left us, he will live with all of us through the eyes of millions of beneficiaries of SN services. The life of such a legend ought to be celebrated and honored. And the best honor as SN team we can pay to him is to follow his principles and his values relentlessly and hold aloft the SN banner in the field of ophthalmic care. My homage to our dear Chief Dr. Badrinath. May his soul attain the lotus feet of the Almighty. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
I was very saddened to hear the demise of Dr. Badrinath. He was a doyen not only in his professional field, but also as a human being. He is one of those very few, very rarefied group of people who built great institutions. Not just any institution, but a high-class, world-class institution. Every brick and mortar in Shankar Nethralaya will reflect his hard work and dedication. My wife and me knew Dr. Badrinath for a very long time, even before the time when we were married. I remember him as a highly polite, soft-spoken, very humble person. I remember the time when we visited his house and how well Mrs. Badrinath and Dr. Badrinath treated my wife and myself. He is a highly principled person, totally altruistic. I do not know when we will find a person like Dr. Badrinath again. The best tribute for him will be to continue his good work and take it to greater heights. May his soul rest in peace.
We have lost a global living legend. He was a visionary who restored the vision of millions of indigent blind patients in India. The ultimate selfless human being we have ever known. Never met anyone like Dr. Badrinath. He is simply the best. Kind, gentle, loving soul. We all are so blessed to be part of his vision and legacy to give the vision to poor blind patients. May his soul rest in peace. My heartfelt condolences to Vasanti ji and the entire family. Thank you.
I am deeply saddened with the demise of Sri S.S. Badrinath ji. It's a great loss for the society and the nation. He is a philanthropist who thought about millions of people and their ophthalmology problems and tried to find a solution by providing free medical aids, surgeries and treatments. Also, he has established mechanisms to train skilled people in this area in a large number. He is a visionary who thought about the society and the particular ophthalmology area and created Shankar Nethralaya, through which thousands and thousands got benefited. He is a role model for all the people in the country who should take up such activities and create mechanisms to serve the society and the people who are needy. In fact, personally, me being associated with the Shankar Nethralaya and also having got opportunity to have the eye camps of Shankar Nethralaya in my own native area, almost more than 500 people got eye surgeries done through Shankar Nethralaya. All that is because of Shri Badrinath ji. It's a great loss. We all should try to follow the path of Badrinath ji and treat millions, and that's the way we can pay tributes to Shri Badrinath ji. May his soul rest in peace in heavens.
Agastya TNK family has expressed their heartfelt condolences at the loss of Karma Yogi Dr. S.S. Badrinath, a humble tribute to the great institution. We are looking forward to being a part of the Agastya TNK family Medical Research Foundation Shankar Nethralaya Hospital at Thondeyarpet in the near future. I call upon Dr. Girish Rao, President, Shankar Nethralaya, to say a few words to conclude the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is said, to live in hearts we leave behind is not to die. When someone you revere becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude as we come together to remember and celebrate the life of a remarkable individual, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. Today, we are not only mourning the loss of a visionary leader, but also celebrating the enduring legacy he leaves behind. On behalf of the Board of Medical Research Foundation, the Vision Research Foundation, and the entire Shankar Nethralaya family, I extend my deepest thanks to each and every one of you for joining us in this meeting, in person and online. Your presence today is a testament to the impact that Chief had on so many lives, both within the organization and outside. I would also take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to the Narad Gana Sabha Committee and the Hindu for helping us during these difficult times and in the smooth conduct of this event. My sincere apologies to all those who wish to speak and whose requests we could not accommodate. Once again, I take the blame for all this. As we bid farewell to a great visionary, let us carry forward the torch that Dr. Badrinath led and continue to strive for excellence in the field of eye care and healthcare as a whole. His legacy will live on through the countless lives he has touched, and the impact of his work will continue to be felt for generations to come. May his soul rest in peace. Om Shanti.
Shankar Nethralaya family would greatly appreciate if each one of you could pen your thoughts, reliving your memories with our founder, Dr. S.S. Badrinath, in our condolence book. And our day is not complete without a floral tribute to our chief. Thank you.
I would also like to announce that in the upcoming board meeting of the Medical Research Foundation, we shall be passing a resolution to name the main campus in the name of Dr. S.S. Badrinath. Thank you.